All right. And Doug, yes, I know I've got myself muted, guys. I wasn't talking I was talking to somebody else. So that being said, hang on really quick here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to throw a virtual background on here, see how that goes for you guys. Let's take a look at this. Let's do this one right here. How's that looking? Look at that. Boom, it's working. All right. So what I was going to say is, yeah, the reason we didn't get the audio working for that for that video is because when we went to hit share screen, it would not allow us to click the buttons for sharing the audio and optimizing for video. It was really weird. So that being said, I appreciate that, guys. Now, listen, throughout today, once we get started here, which is going to be in about 2 minutes, please make sure you guys are typing into the chat. Like, I would love to hear I'd love to see the chat. I do the best I can to follow the chat, but also do me a favor and make sure that you put your questions, anything that you want to make sure that we answer live, make sure that you put that in the in the Q&A so that we can answer every single one of those in the Q&A. Now, I see that we've got some people that have hands up. Looks like I've got Paul Perrone. What's happening, Paul? It's good to see you, brother. Hang on really quick. Paul, if you want to type into the Q&A, and Paul, you're going to be on at 9:40. It looks like I've got Peter coming on first. So I'm going to keep everybody off camera until, unless it's the one person that's speaking. So Paul, I'll be bringing you back on, and I'll put you on camera live once we get that set up. So do me a favor, Paul, and when that time comes, as soon as Peter gets done, make sure you raise your hand so that I can bring you in live. All right, guys, this is going to be a lot of information. Holy cow, we've already got 88 people on, which is about 10% of the people that we have signed up are actually on right now. And it is 9 o'clock. And so look at that. We're at 91, 94. Holy cow, it's jumping up there. All right, everybody's getting on. Where's Peter Boutros? Peter Boutros, raise your hand, brother. I got to find you so I can make you a panelist, bro. Peter Boutros, raise your hand. There we go. All right, I'm going to promote Peter to panelist. All right, Peter's going to be our first speaker here in about 10 minutes. But before we bring Peter on, I'm going to share a few things with you. And guys, if you just would do me a favor, hang on really quick here. I'm going to make you a co-host. Now, Peter, you got to remember when you leave, hang on, will it let you share your screen now? Or sorry, not your screen, but will it let you turn your camera on, Peter? Peter.
Yeah.
Not letting you put your camera on, is it?
No.
All right, that means I've got to make you a co-host. Now, here's what's going to happen. When you leave the webinar today, you have to make sure that you don't end the webinar, all right? Be very, very careful about that. Holy cow, 111 people. Man, you guys are starting to log on like crazy now. All right, so here's what's going to happen, guys. Peter, see if that camera is working now. Is that gonna let you turn it on? There we go. All right, you can turn it off for a minute. There, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that sexy tie. Holy cow, you're dialed in, brother. I love it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Guys, I'm going to just tell you what we're going to be talking about today. Peter, you can go ahead and turn your camera off for just a minute, and once I get done introducing you, you can turn it back on. All right, so this is our social media success webinar. We're going to be talking about the 3 habits that you need to be in to be successful. We're going to talk about SEO. We're going to have a surprise guest speaker that's going to talk to us about lead generation. And we're going to talk a little bit about what you can get out of Club Wealth and out of this webinar. Here's the deal, though. This is not going to be a big sales pitch for Club Wealth, guys. This is literally just our opportunity to spend some time with you guys. We're going to go until, let's see, right now it's 9 o'clock. We're going to go for about 2 hours. We're going to be right at about 2 hours today. And you're going to want to take notes. We're going to go fast. We're going to have lots and lots and lots of information. And it's from the people that are doing it right now, that are having the most success with it right now. And so what I really want you to do is I want you to pay close attention. If you have not done so already, I want you to get into our Facebook group. Go to clubwealth.com. I'm sorry, go to facebook.com/groups/clubwealth. And if I could get Benjamin to put that link in the chat, it's going to be facebook.com/groups/Club Wealth. Go in there, get signed up for the Club Wealth Facebook group. It doesn't cost you anything. Got about 47,000 members in that group. And we just like to bring value. That's really what it comes down to. And I think you're going to find that today. Holy cow, we're already over 140 people on the webinar right now. Guys, what you're going to find out today is that we just like to bring a lot of value. Our goal for today's webinar is that we want you to be saying to yourself, oh my gosh, if they're willing to bring me that much value at no cost, without me paying them a dime, I can't imagine what they would do if I was paying them. Guys, Club Wealth is the #1 coaching and consulting company in the team and brokerage space. We work with people that are solo agents as well. And at the end of the day, regardless of where you're at in your business, we can help you get to the next level, as we have for thousands and thousands and thousands of agents thus far. The speakers that we have today are all very successful real estate agents doing exactly what it is they're going to be teaching you, and they're doing it at a very high level. So here's the thing. I could keep talking, but I'm going to get us started early. I see we've got 100. I say early. I'm going to get us started right away. Originally, we were going to have Peter start at 9:10, but Peter, I'm going to have you start now. Peter's going to be talking about social media. Peter, why don't you go ahead and open up your camera and your microphone. Now, before I just turn you loose, Peter, I want to ask you a couple of quick questions. So by way of credibility, guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Michael Hellickson. I'm the owner and CEO of Club Wealth. As a real estate agent, I was the #1 real estate agent on planet Earth. I was consistently closing 120 to 180 transactions every month. And I was carrying anywhere from right around 750 listings in active and pending status at any given time. And so now I'm 100% fully focused on being a coach. This is what I do. I travel all over the country all the time. I do anywhere from 3 to 4 events per week, live events. These are half-day events all over the country. And then we do 2 big events every year. Our big event that's coming up next is April 23rd and 24th in Denver, Colorado. It's called our Listing Agent Bootcamp. Peter will be one of our speakers at that event. And let me tell you, it is phenomenal. It's an absolute amazing event. If you haven't been to one of our events yet, you need to. Those of you that have been to our events before, could you do me a favor? Type into the chat so everybody can see it. What are your thoughts about our big events? If you've been to a big event before, type it into your chat now. What do you think about our big events? Do you like them? Did you get value out of them? Why do you like them? What's so great about them? Type that in there. Help everybody understand that. Look at this. Look at all these comments in there. Holy cow. Thank you, guys. I super appreciate that. All right, Peter Boutros, when you and I met, when you first started coaching with us, you had a full-time job outside of real estate. You were working for the government, if I remember correctly, and had this cushy govy job. I say cushy, it allowed you to kind of spend some time in real estate. And so you kind of were doing what we call dual career. We don't like to say that you were a part-time agent because, dual career is, I'm working 40 over here, I'm working 40 over there. Part-time is, I might be working a lot less over here. No, you were a dual career agent. And you and I had a conversation, and I'm sharing this with everybody because I want you guys to be able to relate with Peter. Peter, true or false? Were you a little nervous about the advice I gave you at that point in time?
Oh, 100%.
So tell everybody, so you had what, 2 years left before you could actually retire and take a pension out of your business, right? Out of your government job.
Yeah. I was 2 years left, and I would have gotten a full pension with free health insurance for myself and my whole family, only if I had stayed 2 extra years in that government job.
And so I told you, tell everybody what your take is on what I told you. What was the advice I gave you?
So you just made me think about it completely different. You're just like, Peter, let's do the math here. How much are you going to really make when you're 64? And how old are you again now? And at the time I was 34. I'm like, okay, so you got like about 30 years left, and you're waiting to get, what is it, $20,000 a year, and also free health insurance. And you just asked me a couple of questions, and we just worked the math backwards, and it just absolutely made me realize that it made no sense for me to stay.
So prior to leaving the govy job, how many transactions a year were you doing?
Oh man, so I was actually doing I would say somewhere between 20 to 28 transactions a year.
Okay, I'm writing this down. 20 to 28 units per year prior. And hold on, prior. Okay, and then once you quit the govy job, how many transactions are you doing right now a year?
The year before we did 84. Last year we did 64. Yeah.
84. So you're doing somewhere between 64 and 84 transactions a year.
Yep.
Instead of 20 to 28 transactions a year by getting rid of that job. And what's your average sales price?
About 505.
505. Okay. So you're making easily, we're going to call it 25. I don't have my calculator on me, so I'm just going to do the math in my head. But long story short, on that delta of, let's call it easily 40 transactions, So you're making, holy cow, hold on, 25,000 on 4 would be 100 on 40 would be, is that $1 million in commissions? No, my math's wrong there. That can't be right. On 40 on 4 transactions, that would be 25, $100,000 on 40. That is $1 million in difference. Am I right about that? You made an extra $1 million in gross commission income above and beyond what you were making when you were in your full. Did I get that right?
Something like that.
Dude, that's insanity. Like you start doing those freaking numbers. Dude, why were you in that job? I love this. Okay, so my whole point is this, guys. This is a guy that took a leap, right? And I remember your wife's reaction. She was, let's just say, very, very cautiously optimistic. She seemed really nervous about it at the time, but she had a lot of confidence in you. She trusted in you. And that's right, Paul Perone mentioned that you had just had a baby at that point in time. You just had your first kid, a lot of trepidation, but you guys took the leap of faith. You went out there and you freaking crushed it, and you increased your income by almost, somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million a year by taking that chance and by trusting in yourself. And since then, you have really started to nail social media. And so, Peter, that's what you're going to be talking to us about. And so I'm going to turn my camera off. And without any further ado, guys, I want you guys to listen to Peter. Peter, I'm going to give you exactly until 9:37. So you have 27 minutes from right now. And guys, you need to listen to Peter. This guy knows what he's talking about. And if he can do it, you can do it. Remember, you saw that in the video earlier. For those of you that were on early, you saw that little snippet from The Edge with Anthony Hopkins where they say, what one man can do, another can do. And let me tell you something, what one man can do, another can do. Peter can do it. You can do it. Peter, take it away.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Michael. Really appreciate it, and appreciate Club Wealth for getting me here. So thanks, guys, for watching. My name is Peter Boutros. I'm based out of Fairwood, New Jersey. So we cover pretty much the North Jersey and Central New Jersey, so closest to the city. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about social media and the importance of social media for real estate agents altogether. Okay, so just to give you a quick background, when I first started in real estate, I didn't know where to get business from. I did not have a mentor. I didn't have anybody to tell me what to do. And eventually I got into Club Wealth, and then they actually guided me to the right direction. So when I first started, I was trying to find ways to get my business going. And obviously I was calling my sphere. I was posting a lot on social media. And one of the things that I started doing very early on was actually going to business owners and just taking my video camera there and just asking them to see if they would be open to do an interview with me, just so I can get them more clients or just get them to or help them with their business altogether. And this was kind of the start of my social media journey altogether, or doing videos. So today we're going to be talking a lot about this. So we're going to be talking about why you should be doing video and what's content and what's video. I'm going to be focusing a lot more on video versus social media altogether. And then we'll dive a little bit and we'll talk a little bit about social media. Importance of social media and why you should be using it in your business right now. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about content and video. Now, the power of video is huge, guys. I mean, people have been talking about video for a very long time. You know, if you haven't started doing video yet, I wouldn't say that you're late to the game, but you should definitely start. It's never too late to start, right? And we're also going to talk about how often you should be posting videos on social media altogether, and what is the strategy behind that? What should you be posting, and then what should you be saying in your videos, and how will that impact your business overall? Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of social media. So as you guys know, or some of you don't know this, but there's about 4.9 billion people on social media right now, right? So think about that. You can reach so many different people in different areas altogether with just one single video. Isn't it amazing? Like, how long will it take you to reach about 200 to 500 people in a day or in a week, right? How many cold calls will you have to do in order for you to reach just 200 people? How many cold calls do you have to do to reach 500 people, right? You're not going to reach all 4.9 billion people on social media, but you will reach a percentage of that. And with the right strategy, you can reach a larger percentage over time, right? Why is social media important? Again, it can also be a very cheap source of generating leads or nurturing leads. And on top of that, it's free. Like if you utilize it correctly, you can get free leads from it, and you can also nurture your leads for free from it as well, right? You will be able to, again, reach more people than just cold calling or other lead generation tools. Okay, so that's why we want to do social media. That's why we want to focus a little bit or strategize and using social media. Now, I will tell you, most people in this world use social media as a consumer. So what does that mean? So you're scrolling down social media and you're viewing videos, you're viewing posts, and you're viewing somebody else's content overall. So I want you guys to think a little bit differently now. How can you be the creator? How can you be the one to put stuff out there or content out there so other people can consume it? And this is what I want you guys to shift the utilization of social media altogether. Use it as a creator where you can get other people to actually consume your content, and stop consuming other people's content unless it's obviously beneficial to your business. Social media can be a very big time waster, especially in our business. But if you use it correctly and you time block for it appropriately, then you can definitely increase the type of business that you have right now. Okay. So again, what to expect as far as video. So video marketing overall has two purposes. Okay. The purpose number one is attention. You're going to get attention from people that are watching your video. And the other one is to stay on top of mind. Think of it as a billboard. When you are, for those that are advertising on billboards right now, sometimes you're not going to be able to track where that lead source came directly from, but it provides attention, right? So when somebody sees your content and you sees your name and brand over and over again, what's going to happen is that they're going to start recognizing you. Now they're gonna see that this person, this agent, I've seen him, like they're everywhere, right? And I've gotten this before. Like I walked into some people's home for a listing appointment and we're like, you look very familiar. We see you everywhere. Or sometimes you walk down to the grocery store and it's just the same thing happens, right? And then on top of that, if you are doing this correctly, you should be adding all your clients and all your leads on social media as well. And if you're continuing to post on video, you're going to be staying on top of mind. So this way they can come back to you when they are ready to buy or sell again from you or recommend you to someone else, right? You will be viewed as the local expert if you are providing content that is local to your specific area. And if you're using the right hashtags and locations all together, you will become that local expert. Well, now somebody needs information about a local restaurant or a handyman. They will go to you before they go to anyone else because they think now that you are the expert in that area. Okay. So you will also be able to nurture your leads and generate leads from doing video marketing for free or for very cheap by doing retargeting or boosting that video or creating ads with that. Okay. And then we again talked about staying on top of mind, of course, right? So how do you create content, right? So what I recommend, and this is what I do personally, is block only 2 to 4 hours once a month and shoot all your videos at once, right? You don't have to be thinking every single day, hey, what am I going to be talking about today? Oh, now I don't have time where I'm running around on appointments and I'm making calls. I don't have time to do videos. But if you just book it on your calendar now or from the beginning of the month and have it recurring, and every day, let's say on a Saturday or a Sunday, whatever that day is for you that works for you, just block only 2 hours and think about all the videos and try to shoot them all together at once. Now you should have enough videos to be able to post for about a 30-day period. And that's what I usually do. I'll just batch videos for 30 days at a time. And now I have it so I can post it over the next 30 days or so, right? Whenever you get asked a question by a client or you see an article that somebody talks to you about or whatever it is, that should be a trigger to create a video behind it. Hey, like somebody asks you about inspections or specific problems that you ran into in a deal that you just had. make a video about that so you can share with other people that are following you already, or reach more people with it. And now people are going to find you as, as a local expert, right? Another great tool that I've been using a lot here is Answer the Public. Now go to this website here, clubwealth.com/answer the public. And what that website does is you can find trending topics that are people searching for or on Google right now. So if you go on that website and just type in just the keyword real estate in your specific area, or just real estate altogether, you will see what people are searching for, or what has had the top hits for in the last 30 days or so. And this way you can create topics or videos about it. Okay. And one of my favorite tools that just went crazy in the last year is ChatGPT. ChatGPT can actually provide you with ideas and scripts for all your videos. It's never been easier to create scripts or find content ideas by using AI tools like that. So there shouldn't be any excuse of not knowing what to do or what to say on video altogether. So let's talk a little bit about some tools that I use to help me with shoot videos. First of all, guys, just want to tell you something. Don't make it complicated, right? Just start with your phone. Start with very cheap equipment. You don't have to go spend thousands of dollars on high-end equipment, which I know a lot of people end up doing and think they have to buy that $3,000 camera and that $500 mic or light or all these lighting, and then they end up not using it. When I first started, I just started with my phone, and that's what I would recommend you do before buying anything altogether. Because the first thing that you want to do, you want to be able to do this consistently over time, right? And then once you become good at it and consistent at it, then at that point, then you can maybe invest in other tools. But in the beginning, you want to make sure that you're consistent with it. And then after that, buy like equipment to help you get better quality. But everyone should definitely have good quality sound in their video, especially if you're recording in an area that has a lot of traffic or it's noisy or whatever it is. So get an entry-level mic like this. I shared a screenshot of it here. It's very cheap. It's not expensive, and it can just plug into your phone, and you can just record right there from it. Okay. Lighting is very important when it comes to video. The quality of it is gonna be much better if you do have lighting in place or good lighting. If your office or the area that you're in already has good lighting, you don't need to buy any lighting equipment. But if you don't have good lighting, I'd definitely recommend you guys get something like this, or even there are cheaper options as well to help you create better looking videos. Okay. And then as far as camera, I'm not going to talk about any specific cameras right now because I want you all to start doing it first before buying anything expensive. So go ahead and start doing it with your phone. Your phones now these days have very good quality camera that you can just use and post right on social media, and it will be just as good as anything else out there. Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about editing tools when it comes to editing your videos. Okay. Everyone should start with the native apps, such as, Instagram Reels has a really good editing tool. TikTok or YouTube Shorts, they all have good editing tool within it. And what I found out actually is that when you use their, actual editing platforms, sometimes these platforms end up getting you more views organically because you use their native editing tools. Okay, so try that first before trying to buy any fancy editing tools. Definitely have captions on every video that you post out there. I think there was a statistics where it was like, I think over 70% of videos are watched without the sound on. So when people are scrolling down, you want to try to grab their attention really quick by having some captions that are engaging and also a good hook when you first start your video, so people can stop scrolling and can actually see what the video is about. If your caption is eye-catching, they will stop scrolling and they will start listening to what you're saying and probably put the sound on. So that tool, Captions app, is actually really nice, and it creates effects within your video and it transcribes all the videos. Also, TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, they can transcribe now the video within the native app as well. Now, once you become more advanced, what I do now is, since we do put a lot of content out and I'm trying to maximize my time, I do have a VA that edits my videos now and posts them for me. But in the beginning, again, like I was doing this for years before hiring anybody at all. So in the beginning, just do it yourself, block it out, and you can use a scheduling tool to schedule all your videos to be posted all throughout the month where you don't even have to think about it. Okay. Now remember, it just only takes a couple of hours and then you'll be good. Scheduling, again, we block it on your calendar, stay consistent with it. And when I say block it on your calendar, block the content day that you're going to be posting, and then also figure out what are the best times to post for the specific channel that you're going to be posting. So some channels will tell you, hey, the best time to post is, at 6 p.m. during the week. And some other channels will be 9 a.m. during the week. So figure out what is the best time for that specific channel and use that to be able to get in front of more people. Okay. The biggest thing again is going to be to stay consistent with it. Okay. A little bit more on video, and this is the last two is more advanced. So most videos now are shot vertically. So don't do horizontal videos, do vertical videos, because most of the social media platforms are pushing for that a lot more now. So obviously you have the YouTube shorts, that you have the TikTok, you have the Instagram Reels and Facebook Reels. All these are shot vertically. So try to get more of that, and then, try to keep it under a minute. Actually 30 seconds is probably going to be the sweet spot. Once you find a video that's getting a lot of engagement and views, what you can do after a week or two, you can figure out what videos are getting a lot of engagement and use that to retarget your existing database within your CRM. Now, this is a little bit more advanced. We can probably do another class on that at some point, but you can easily take all your clients in your CRM right now and put them into Facebook. If you have an email for them, a phone number, and a name, and then you can have Facebook only retarget these specific people. Now you're going to stay consistent, on top of mind in front of these people, and then you'll start getting people that already close with you that are actually commenting on your video, or even better, saying something like, hey, we bought a house 3 years ago. Can you come by and take give me an idea what my home is worth? I've had this happen several times, guys, just by using videos and retargeting. And the crazy part is, I had somebody, so again, you guys know I'm from New Jersey. I had somebody from Florida ask me for a CMA just by watching one of my videos. And we typically get a couple of leads a week at least, or people that are raising their hands are already in their CRM just from doing these videos. So that's how powerful video is, okay? One of the most important things about social media altogether is to engage with your existing followers, because this is how you get more views overall. It has to be a two-way street. So in order for you to get more views, you also have to engage with your current followers. Try to like their stuff. Also comment on their posts. This way your videos or your posts will also show up on their feed. Okay. Quickly, I know we're running out of time here. Here are some examples of videos everybody should be posting. Anytime you do a closing, guys, ask for your clients for a review, and on top of that, do a video testimonial with them. And this is a great retargeting tool that I usually use, and I have a landing page now. Before I go on any appointment, especially when it comes to a listing appointment, you just ask the seller, hey, it was great working with you today. Would you be opposed to just doing a quick 30-second testimonial video with me, and just to give me your experience, just so I can show other clients how your experience have been? Okay. Listing videos are great. Whenever you have a listing video, everybody should be doing a reel. You don't have to hire an expensive videographer to do that. You can do that easily within your phone, and within the editing app, within social media, you can create really cool effects and you'll reach a lot more people. Local highlights is also great. Restaurants, bars, coffee shops, whatever it is, local restaurants, it will make you look like the local expert. Questions or situations that you run into from clients, we talked about this. Market updates is great. Talk about how the market is doing in your specific city or area, what's pending, what sold, what is the percent of list to sold ratio, behind the scene of everything that you're doing every day. And this is really cool. That's been getting a lot of engagement actually in the native Instagram app and a real app, there is a green screen option where you can take an article and have it scroll behind you, and you can minimize or make your face a lot smaller behind in front of that article and talk about your opinion about that specific news that came out. Let's say the rates drop, have that article pulled up, do a record screen within your phone, and then have that green screen and have that video slide up while you talk about it. You'll get way more engagement when you use tools like that within your social media platform. Important suggestions, and this is very important, guys. I know I talked a lot about video today, but just remember, please, this does not replace your other lead generation sources like making phone calls and follow-up. This is in addition to doing everything that you're already doing. This is not an excuse to stop making your calls. This is not an excuse to not to door knock or not to do open houses. This actually helps everything else that you're doing in place already. Again, engage with people, build videos on landing pages and drip campaigns in your CRM. And also do not get discouraged if you're only getting a few hundred views on your social media. Look, again, we talked about this. How long is it going to take you to get 400 or 500 views on a video or 100 views on a video? That's still a great win. Just because you didn't get thousands or millions of views, that doesn't mean that a video did not work. Okay. The biggest thing is just to keep doing it. Thank you, guys. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to take a look at the chat here really quick. Let me see how I can pause share.
I got you, Peter. All right, so let's do this. First of all, let's shut down your screen share really quick. Let's get rid of that so we can see the cameras. There we go. Good stuff. All right, so I've been writing down, I've been following the questions in the chat, and we've got some questions in the Q&A. So to reward those that put their questions in the Q&A, we're going to start with you guys first. Then I'm going to go into the ones from the chat. But again, guys, when you have questions, please type them into the Q&A. That'll make it easier for everybody. And Ritzel Damsgaard, I hope I said that correctly, asks, how about videos with only animated static images? Are they also effective?
Animated static images. So I want the videos to be like, I want my face to be in the videos as much as possible. I don't want anything generic. I don't want anything that is, out there that's very generic, because I want to be able to get in front of people. I want my face to be recognizable to other people. So my recommendation is always have a video of yourself talking about something. Don't use these free tools where it's just going to create a free video for you.
Yep. I love that. And by the way, one of the things that I'll also say about your content, Peter, is that it's not just business related. You've got a lot of personal content. Like the other day, I saw a video of you working out, and, hey, it's not lost on me that, you got big guns. And so because you got big guns, I'm sure you got a lot of ladies checking out that post. Maybe a couple of guys too, you never know. But at the end of the day, what it was personal. And because it was personal, people engaged with it. And I like how you talked about the importance of engaging with your audience, and specifically, I'll give you guys an example. Recently, I just started a new Facebook group for Leavenworth. It's called Leavenworth Bavarian Village. If you guys want to, you can join that. You can see what I'm doing in there. It's just Leavenworth Bavarian Village. It's a Facebook group. And what I've been doing is every time people comment on stuff, I'm responding to their comments, right? And I'm asking them questions. And that's another big key here, guys. Always, you want to do what's called, write this down, extend the conversation. Extend the conversation. And the way you do that is you ask questions and you get them to engage deeper with you by asking them more open-ended questions that they can leave bigger and more questions or more answers to. All right. Peter, another question for you is this, actually, I'll field this one. Is this deck going to be sent to us for reference? Here's what I'm going to do. For those of you that are in New York, we have coming up, we've got 4 different live events coming up in New York. We've got Melview, New York. We got Allentown, Pennsylvania, South Brunswick, New Jersey, and then Columbus, Ohio. Those are our next 4 events coming up. That's March 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. For those of you that come to those events, I'm going to bring you a link that you can get the PowerPoints from today right there. And for those of you that opt in, I'm going to give you an opportunity to opt in at the very end of today. For those of you that opt in, I will give you an ability to get the PowerPoints from today as well. All right, so Courtney Warden asks, and Courtney is one of our coaching clients and amazing agent. Courtney says, would love to learn on that targeting in the future. Love it. So Peter, you're teaching this class or a social media class at Listing Agent Bootcamp, if I'm right, is that correct?
Yes.
And you'll have 45 minutes at that class. Will you be covering a little bit more in detail exactly how to do the targeting and the retargeting?
Yeah, that's my plan. I'm going to talk a little bit more about retargeting in that class.
Perfect. Okay. So Courtney, that'll be happening at Listing Agent Bootcamp. I know you're going to be there. And so make sure you go to Peter's class at Listing Agent Bootcamp. That's coming up April 23rd and 24th in Denver, Colorado. I'll tell you guys at the end of today how you can get tickets to that if you're interested. All right, we're going to go to Lisa Dillon asks, I had an issue logging in and finally just got in. Can I get the recording of the first 30 minutes? The short answer is we don't know. We'll see. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And I know we've got a lot of people. We got 245 people on right now, and we've got a lot of people that have been adding on as we've been going here. So I can't promise that we'll be able to post that video, but we'll do the best we can. Tara asks, after you create a video, Peter, should you post it to all social media platforms on the same day, or should you break it up and spread it out, like post it on Facebook today, Instagram next week, that kind of thing?
I think we should post it all on the same day. If you want to get really advanced with it, look at the social media algorithm. Every social media will tell you who from your followers are most active on what specific days and specific times, and use that time and day to post on that social media platform.
Okay, and that was one of the questions too, is how do we do that? But every social media platform is different. We don't have time to go into detail on exactly how to check the algorithm on that. Those of you that are in coaching with us, ask your coach. If your coach doesn't know how to do it, then we will get Peter or one of our other social media experts on a call with you and your coach. We'll walk you both through it at the same time to make sure that you guys have that information. It's very easy to do though. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's super easy to do. All right. And so thank you that, Peter. That's good stuff. Let's go to Miguel Sevilla asks, and by the way, guys, when you ask your questions, tell us where you're from. We'd like to mention where you're from as well. Miguel asks, do you keep in mind the 80-20 ratio for your videos? So 80% personal, 20% video, or are you doing something different?
Yeah, I do try to keep it in mind that sometimes it does get hard, especially that I have somebody that's posting my videos all the time. But that's correct. You should definitely be putting a lot more. Yeah, I mean, you should have that ratio in mind overall. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I just try to post as much as possible and create content as much as possible. And the biggest thing is really the engagement part. Like whenever you see your video views or engagement goes down, remember to start engaging with other people too.
Love it. I love it. All right, good stuff. I've got time. By the way, guys, don't forget to put your questions in the Q&A and not in the chat, because if they're in the Q&A, we're going to get to them. I may not get to them if they're in the chat. And we've only got one more minute here with Peter because we got to stay on track today. So Joanna, and then we're going to go to our next speaker in just a second. Joanna asks, is there a difference in using business page versus personal page? I currently have both, but I have more followers on my business page.
Yeah, so Michael, you actually taught us this before, so everybody should be doing both, but on the personal page, you should have this, what is it, a creator tool, the option. You want to go into that, Michael, a little bit?
You just want to become a digital creator if you can. Like ideally, you want to be a digital creator because that allows you to run ads from your personal page, and people are more likely to engage with you. Even though you've got more followers on your business page right now, people are much more likely to engage with you on your personal page than they will on your business page. The problem with a lot of real estate agents is they say, "Oh, but I want to separate my business and my personal." Then you don't get it. This is social freaking media. It needs to be social in nature. People want to get to know you, right? People don't get on my business page and engage with me at a high level. People get into my personal page. They send me personal messages. They comment on my personal stuff. Guys, I'm telling you, you've got to get personal people. Give them a backstage pass to your life. Peter, go ahead.
Yeah, something to think too about Facebook business page. Facebook is not gonna show your content organically to people that are liking your page, because Facebook wants you to pay for anything that you post on your Facebook page, right? So you definitely want to use your Facebook personal page. You want to use your Instagram, and then and also you can have actually an option that anytime you post something on Instagram, it automatically goes to Facebook and vice versa. And that's what I do. I post it on Instagram and then automatically post on Facebook at the same time.
All right, good stuff. Now, here's what's going to happen. Peter, you're going to be, I'm assuming you're going to be staying with us. And so, assuming you're to stay with us, we may come back to Peter for more of your questions here in a few minutes. We've got to get to our next speaker. So, I'm going to have Peter mute out, and then we're going to catch. Actually, before you do, Peter, tell us, how do we get a hold of Peter Boutros? If I want to connect with Peter, I want to become, I want to become a part of your world. Like, where would I connect? I'm going to suggest like your Facebook link or something like that. Could you put
Yeah.
that in the chat for us, or can you tell us how to connect with you?
Yeah, you can follow me easily if you look me up on Instagram, Stunning NJ Homes. We'll put that link on the chat here and Facebook as well. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys at LABC.
I love it. That's fantastic. And by the way, you guys, if you have referrals for an agent in New Jersey, Peter's your man. And by the way, he will be at that South Brunswick event. You're going to be at that one, right? Yeah, that's the one. So March 21st, when I do that half day event in South Brunswick, you can come see Peter. He will be there with me, and you can meet him in person and pick his brain. And he's going to stay on, so we'll hopefully have a few more minutes to ask more questions of him later. So if you give it up for Peter in the chat, guys, show him some love in the chat. And really quick, I'm going to bring Doug Vario on. Doug, if you want to go ahead and open up your microphone, I'm just going to really quick. I want to give you everybody a heads up. Doug encouraged us to do this webinar today. I wanted to thank Doug for his suggestion. We've got, I think a lot of people would agree with me that this has been a very helpful webinar already, and we've got a lot more information to come. Doug is with the New York School of Real Estate, and he will also be at the New York events and the New Jersey events, I believe. Doug, which of these events are you going to be at with us?
Oh, we're going to be at both of them, and we're going to be advertising them with all our loan officers. Thank you very much for having us on today, and we love this. This is great.
I
Added
love it,
value
man.
is great.
Well, I certainly appreciate you encouraging us to do this, and I'm really grateful for all the promotion that you've been doing. So, Doug, really quick, just give us the 30 seconds elevator pitch on New York School of Real Estate.
So I started the school about 11 years ago, but I've been training for close to 27 years now for loan officers and real estate agents. And one thing that I always believe in is added value. So at a lot of my classes, I bring on home inspectors, tax grievance people, anybody that can help elevate a real estate agent or a mortgage professional to get to that next level. And I've always prided myself on that. And when I saw your stuff, I said, this is perfect. I would love to be part of your group. And we talked, and here we are today. So I'm looking forward to the Melville and the South Brunswick events.
Man, I appreciate that a lot. All right, well, Doug, I'm sure we're going to all be excited to see you there. I'm going to go ahead and hit mute on your microphone now. And guys, if you want to join us for those events, before we go to our next speaker, just go to this website really quick, sign up for the events. Normally they're $197, but today, because you're on the webinar with us today, we're going to give you a complimentary ticket when you go to clubwealth.com/events, clubwealth.com/EVENTS. And you use the promo code webinar. The promo code is webinar. Ben just put that in the chat for everybody. If you guys want to go there, you can get a ticket to that Melville, New York event on March 19th. That's a 3-hour event in person. I will be there. And then you've got same thing. You've got Melville on the 19th, Allentown, Pennsylvania on the 20th, South Brunswick, New Jersey on the 21st. And Columbus, Ohio on March 22nd. So go to clubwealth.com/events, get signed up for those right now, and use the promo code webinar so that you get your ticket at no cost. Guys, these half-day events are awesome. In the chat, if you guys could do me a favor, those of you that have been to our half-day events, maybe just give a quick testimonial, a quick shout out for those half-day events. Let people know what you guys think of those, and if you feel like you got value out of the half-day events you've been to. I would super appreciate that. And we're going to go to our next speaker now, and that is Mr. Paul Perone. And I've got to make Paul not only a panelist, but I got to make him a co-host so that he can share his screen, or sorry, his camera. So Paul Perone, I'm going to tell you about Paul real quick. Paul is, first of all, a freaking baller. And by the way, have you noticed that everybody on the call so far has been wearing a tie? I love you guys for that, by the way. Can I just share that? Love that you guys are dressed professionally. You guys obviously mean business. Paul, when you and I first met, what tier were you in?
1.
You were in tier 1. So Paul, when he and I first met a couple of years ago, he was in tier 1 doing 0 to 25 transactions a year. And currently you're in tier
3.
Tier 3, which means you're doing 75 to 150 transactions a year. And so Paul is freaking crushing it. And I'll tell you, Paul also recently came out, did a hell week with my son, Austin, who's got literally over 220 listings in his first 2 years selling real estate. And Paul took his life in his own hands. They were driving down the road 70 miles an hour. Wheel comes off the car. And yeah, they're both lucky to be alive. But listen, you guys need to hear what Paul has to say because he's from New York. And by the way, Paul, your name doesn't say that on there. But here he is from New York. Yeah, and during COVID, I remember during COVID, Paul was freaking out, as everybody was. But everybody in New York especially was freaking out because New York shut down harder than anybody. And Paul's like, Michael, what do I do? And Paul, we just in 2 seconds, tell them what I told you and what you did.
Double down. And that's what we did. We actually, I gotta say, thanks to the coaches at Club Wealth, they prepared us for all of the objections that were coming up months before we shut down. So by the time we got shut down, while everyone else was scrambling, hiding in a corner, didn't know what to do, we were ready. And when everyone was home from work because they couldn't go in, guess what? Everyone picked up the phone. We felt so busy during that time because now all of our phone calls were getting picked up. It wasn't 60 no answers per pick, for one contact. It was every single person we called and wanted to talk about what's going on. It was insane. We were putting deals together when no one else was.
That was my next question. What happened to your production during that time?
It actually went up.
Yeah, you guys freaking crushed it. Because everybody write this down. Grab a pen. I hope you guys are taking notes. I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but if you guys aren't taking notes, you're crazy because you'll only retain about 4% of what we teach you. But those of you that are taking notes, you'll retain 8 to 12%. If you take notes on pen and paper and you teach someone what you learned afterwards, you'll retain between 18 and 21%. But get this, write this down. Where there's chaos, there's opportunity. Guys, write that down. Where there's chaos, there's opportunity. I'm telling you right now, Paul embraced that. And because he embraced that, he freaking crushed it. So Paul, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go right to you. I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to give the floor to you. Guys, you need to listen to what this man has to say. He's very intelligent. He's a very hard worker, and he has done very, very well. And believe me, if he can do it, you can do it. So listen to what he has to say. Paul, you've got until 12 after. I'll come back on at 12 after.
All right. You all can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
All right. So I'm going to be talking about the 3 habits of success, and it's going to be obviously there's tons of habits of success. So I'm going to try to keep it really narrow and foundational. And then at the end, I'm going to give you 3 actionable things that you can do today to improve your business. So what is success? I love the quote by Maya Angelou. Success is liking yourself, what you do, and how you do it. And if you take this seriously, your business will improve. It's not about having a big fancy car, big fancy house. It's about being happy with who you are and how you treat others. So the first habit of success, constant self-improvement. And Club Wealth Coaching has helped me do that since 2018. So thank you very much, Michael, and all of the coaches that are with Club Wealth. They constantly push me to be better, and you have to push yourself to be better. It's constant self-improvement and realizing that everyone you come across knows something you don't. So no matter what you think of a person, listen to them humbly and hope to learn something, because inevitably it could be the homeless person on the street will know something you don't. I promise you that. Now, of course, it requires putting in the work, doing the numbers, getting your social media together, putting your videos together, making your phone calls, following your perfect daily schedule. But none of that will happen unless you're internally driven to do that. A lot of people say, you know what? Once I get the money, then I'll start feeling successful. I'll start acting successful. I'll start exuding success. But that's not the reality of it. And why do people do that? Because they want to avoid imposter syndrome. If any of you have felt imposter syndrome, just write imposter in the chat. I have, I'm sure Peter has, I know my coach has, I'm sure even Michael has at some point in time. As strong of a high D as he is, I'm sure he's felt it at some point in time. Everyone feels that on the way up. You're not alone. You also have to realize that, what does Michael say? No success, what does it say? No success in the world can compensate for failure in the home or failure in yourself. So you got to start with you. You're not responsible for anyone else's happiness but your own. So you got to improve yourself. You got to make yourself happy. And when you can be the best version of you, then you can best help others. That goes in your home, that goes in your business, that goes in everything. So how do we begin to truly like ourselves and be the best person we can be? Okay. You got to start with those daily affirmations, right? You got to go, you got to look at the 5 key areas of success: your spiritual, your family, your business, financial, and your health, both physical and mental. And how does that relate to your daily affirmations? Take this. Picture yourself 1 year from today, February 26, 2025. What's the best version of you in those 5 key areas of life? If every day, right when you wake up and just before you go to bed, you close your eyes for 5 minutes. That's all I ask of you, is 5 minutes. And just picture and feel the best version of you in those 5 key areas. And then just believe that that's who you are. I promise you, 1 year from today, you will be that person. If you feel it and you feel the joy and the happiness of doing that. And then you start living that person. You can't be a top producer without doing the top producer thing. So when you believe you're a top producer, so that your mind is not, so that your actions are not incongruent with who you believe you are, when you believe wholly that that's who you are, your actions will just naturally follow to do those things. If you truly believe that you're a top producing agent, guess what? Your brain will tell you you have to start doing the things to be that top producing agent. So believe in yourself, number one, and do those daily affirmations and do them with feeling. You got to shut out that negative speak. And that's the internal negative speak that we all have. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough, blah, 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 whatever. Get rid of it. Just replace it with, I am good enough. I do deserve it. You ever said to yourself, oh, you know what? I should have done that sooner. If you ever achieve something, you're like, oh, I should have done that sooner. Or I should have started that sooner. All that's telling you is that you've always had the ability to do it. You just got in your own way. So replace that internal negative speak with, I can do it. I will do it. I have no other choice but to do it. There are a gazillion quotes on failure and success out there. There's a couple that live in my head. Number one is, the master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. So don't be afraid to fail. Just be afraid to give up. Be excited to fail. Because another quote that lives in my head from Napoleon Hill is, every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success. So if you live to fail, then all that you realize is that the more failures you do have is going to lead you to a greater success later on. And relish in the success, and remember the success, and take pictures of yourself and take notes of yourself and look back and just realize how far you've come. Because we forget, don't we? We always forget. And another one by Susie Kasem is, fear kills more dreams than failure ever will. And the third part of liking yourself is ignoring the external negative speak. You know, we're from New York and New Jersey, so we say IDGAF, you know. You might say some other things in some other parts of the country. If a person upsets you, take a deep breath. Learn what you can from the interaction and know that you're better for the experience. Take a deep breath, count down from 5, get up, move on. That's it. And think about any famous person that you might know that you truly dislike. And maybe you even spent a lot of brain energy disliking this person, maybe even commenting on social media how much you dislike this person. Now, did it do anything to that person at all? Did it have any negative impact? Do they care? No. So just as it's not going to affect them, other thoughts about you will not affect you if you don't let them. And the other side of that is, there's no need. Just spend your time better. Just concentrate on you. Don't speak ill of others. It doesn't bring you any good. And don't let the ill speak of others bring you down. I hope that's helpful for some of you at least. Next part is, do you like what you do? Are you bought in? Do you feel that what you're doing is a worthy endeavor? That it's bringing value to the people around you? If you're the type of agent that believes that prices are too high for the house that they're getting today, well, if that's the belief you have in your head, then your actions are going to reflect that. And you're going to stop taking people out to see houses because you think they're too expensive. Now, if you believe, as I do, that Michael has taught us, that the best time to buy a house was yesterday, then, and again, imagine that if you truly believe that, now all of a sudden your actions are going to reflect that belief, and you're going to be bringing people out, and you're going to be getting them to get into a house sooner. And just think about any of the buyers you've had over the past couple of years. They all wish they bought the moment prices went up 25% after we were shut down from COVID. When everyone was like, oh, the prices are at their peak and it's going to crash, blah, blah, blah. No, they all wish they bought it back then now. So the best time to buy was yesterday. And you have to believe that in your heart and soul in order to provide the best service to your clients. You also have to believe that you're the best for your clients. When you understand that, 85% of the agents out there today are doing this part-time and they're not here on a webinar trying to improve themselves, then you have to realize that you're the best option for all of the general public out there. And if you don't go after them, if you don't provide service to them, then guess who they're going to be provided service by? Someone who's probably not going to do the best for them and probably who's going to give them lesser service than you would have. So you would honestly be doing them a disservice by not going after them. And finally, and this all goes back to how you see yourself in the morning, those daily affirmations of what type of agent you say that you are every morning and every night. And number 3, does it bring you joy? Do you relish in getting in seeing the keys getting handed over to the buyers, watching a buyer or a seller start a new chapter in their life? Do you enjoy solving problems, being the answer for people who don't know the answers? You got to find the joy in your work and focus on that. And honestly, if it ultimately doesn't bring you joy and you can't find the joy in it, go find something that does bring you joy. That's the honest truth. I hold classes for aspiring agents every week. And there are people that I said flat out, don't be an agent. It's not for you. It's not going to make you happy. And there are so many mini jobs that we have to do as real estate agents. You have to make a list of your likes and your dislikes of all the different things that we do as an agent. And also make your 2200 list. Everyone know what the 2200 list is? It's all of the activities that are $20 an hour activities and all the activities that are $200 an hour activities. Start with the ones you truly dislike and start outsourcing them. As you get better, as you start to scale, one of the first hires you're going to make is an assistant. And that's where you're going to start offloading all of those things you dislike, all of the $20 an hour activities, so that you can focus the 168 hours we all have in this world on the money-making $200 an hour activities. Sorry, my scroll is Next thing is, do you like how you do what you do? What do I mean by create a professional reality? When you start owning your world, owning your life, owning your schedule, then you start owning how to run your business. And it goes, again, back to the daily vision of who you believe you are. The busier you become, the more you realize that the more you realize that you need to do this. For example, I have a listing right now. I'm getting hundreds of calls on the listing, and I made a message. I changed my phone number, and I just made it a voicemail inbox. Welcome to the Team Perone listing hotline. If this listing is available, it's available. Follow the instructions, because as a listing agent, you know the buyer's agents never read the instructions. I almost went New York on me. And when you're new and you come across a listing agent that does these things, you kind of hate them. They're like, oh, they don't pick up the phone. They never want to talk to us. And when you start to scale, you understand why. But it's about creating systems that are going to be able to save you time and make you more money. Now, that does go into being the example for your peers and being the best agent that you can be for yourself. Now, I'm not suggesting that you ignore all the phone calls. No, I selectively call back who I need to call back. Those agents with the legitimate questions, and they always thank me for it. That is the agent I want to be, but I don't want my entire day wasted answering questions that are answered on the listing sheet, if you get what I mean. And just because someone says, oh, but this is how everybody does it, doesn't mean that that's how you have to do it if it doesn't contribute to the good vision of yourself, of course, following all laws and regulations within your state or your board. And then it goes out, and then liking how you do it is Also, you got to stand out by being the best version of yourself. Number one is communicating better. You can have the best ideas in the world, but if you can't communicate them, no one's going to know it and no one's going to respect you. Number two, and I actually learned this from Hell Week with Coach Austin Hellickson, elevate your energy. If you see I have quite a bit of energy today, I wasn't always like this. I now do this on every single one of my phone calls. And just that one change has brought me a tremendous amount of conversion. Elevate your energy, live healthier, get up, exercise, eat better. And for every activity, ask yourself, is this moving me forward or is it holding me back? This change doesn't happen overnight, but I promise you, if you focus on it, it'll happen faster than you ever imagined. Coach Michael, how am I doing on time?
You're doing good. You can wrap up at any time, but if you need a couple more minutes, you've got a couple more minutes.
Nope, I'm good. So a couple of specific things that I do to help me succeed. Number one, follow a boring PDS, perfect daily schedule. Systematize your week. And what do I mean by that? Every Monday, do the same thing for your business. Every Tuesday, do the same thing for your business. Every Wednesday, do the same thing for your business. The more you can systematize it and make your perfect daily schedule boring, the easier it is to succeed. Number two, create your calendar with your loved ones so that everybody's on the same page. When you own your calendar, you own your life. And then share your calendar with your loved ones. So as soon as you put something in there, they see it. As soon as they put something in there, you see it. And delegate your daily tasks. Oh, I mean, people, they think they're doing the right thing when they're with their spouse or their loved one. They say, oh, we share in the housework. We share taking out the garbage. We share in the dishes. We share in the laundry. No, stop that. Figure out who's best at each one of those tasks and then split them up and never touch that task that you're not delegated to. That will save you and your loved one so much time that you both can achieve better things. The second specific thing that I do is I call it getting 10 things a month. Those things are either a listing agreement, a buyer contract for sale, or a listing contract for sale. And right now, currently 10 is comfortable for me. I'm probably going to bump it up to 15 soon because I'm doing that right now, and I want to do more. But if I could get those 10 things a month, my income is golden. Figure out how many of those things you need a month, and those become the actionable items that you can focus on doing and achieving on a monthly basis. And then you can break it down by 4 and do it on a weekly basis. The third thing you could do is show up and don't take no for an answer. Our job as real estate agents is to convert no's to yeses. Are you doing that to the highest ability? If not, come into Club Wealth, take some classes, learn some closing techniques. Remember, the first no is usually just an unanswered objection. So are you isolating those objections and then handling those objections and then going for the close again? Most good real estate agents need to close 4 or 5 times before they get the signature on the paperwork, not just once. What do most regular agents do? They get one no and they give up and walk out the door. Well, now I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take the listing. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do. Alternate choice closing techniques, NLP techniques, right? All great things to help you close a lot better and do more business in less time. It's about being more efficient and effective with your time. All right. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, Paul, we're going to have you go ahead and shut the screen share off. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So really quick, I've got a few questions for you. One, Paul, could you rapid fire go through and repeat the 10 things a month? Shauna Block was asking that.
Sure.
Thank
So the
you for that
10,
question.
it's broken up into 3 categories. It's any of a listing appointment, a buyer contract, or a listing contract, meaning a contract for sale.
Okay. And what were the 10 things?
I need to get 10 of those 3 things every month.
Got it.
And that
Okay.
keeps my income where I want it to be.
Love it. All right. Good stuff.
And I'm beyond that this month, which is nice. So
yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay. And Audra says, thank you for the affirmations. Great stuff. Okay. So Paul, let me ask you this. So when you went out, and we've got just a couple of minutes with Paul, and then we've got to jump to our next speaker, who's going to be Coach Sharif Hattab. Sharif, be prepared. We're getting ready to come to you. But Coach Paul, you went out to that Hell Week and you came away with a a different perspective on kind of what you needed to do in your business. If you had to say, hey, Michael, this is the single biggest change I made in my business that absolutely moved the needle the most, what would that one thing be?
Showing up with greater energy, showing up and bringing the energy. Honestly, that's seriously, we get scared to offend people. We think we're being too forward. We think we're being too aggressive when we do that. And I know I thought of myself as a really good converter before going to Hell Week. But Hell Week just kind of raised it to such a much better level. And it's had a great impact on my convert. I have to make so few calls to get the appointments I need now. Who doesn't want that?
Right. Yeah, dude, I completely agree. The energy level that you bring to it absolutely will change the outcome, no question. And again, to your point, don't be afraid to offend people. I think too often, too many agents are worried that they're going to offend somebody. Guys, here's the deal. The fact of the matter is, you got to get in there and you got to get the job done, because if you don't get the job done, somebody else is going to come in there. Write this down. Be aggressive with the process, but not with people. Be aggressive with the process, but not with people. See, here's the thing. If you'll do that, if you guys can just take that energy level to the next level when you're on those appointments and be much more aggressive with the process, you'd be amazed at how much more you'll close. All right, Coach Paul, anything to add before we wrap up today? Or I should say before we go to our next speaker.
Unless someone has a question.
Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions in the Q&A. Let me see if I've got any. Oh, hold on. Oh, we just got a couple. Hold on. What was the PDS? Tell us what that PDS is one more time.
The PDS is a perfect daily schedule. And that is simply, you could start with a paper calendar or a Google Calendar and start by planning out your next 2 weeks. Everything from the time you wake up until you go to bed. And there's 5 categories. Your personal time, your prospect, and remember, your personal time comes first. This is not like when you work for someone else and you're under their thumb. We all got into real estate to control our time, did we not? That's what we're doing with the PDS. Number 1, you put in your time, your wake time, your sleep time, your yoga time, your spiritual time, your family time, whatever that is for you, you put that in first. Then you have to go take your business seriously, your prospecting time, and then your deal time. And so that's the working in your business time. And then finally working on your business time. Every day is a little bit of improvement.
Chris Ferrugia, one of our coaches, put into the chat, guys, a link. If you guys want to get a copy, if you want to see a video on how to develop your perfect daily schedule, and you want to download some sample perfect daily schedules at no cost, go to clubwealth.com/PDS. clubwealth.com/PDS. You can just go there. It's free. Just check it out. And I'm telling you right now, if you were to ask me, what is the one thing I can do this year, 2024, that's going to make the biggest difference in my business, it would be developing and following that perfect daily schedule. All right. And then Paul, let's see, I got last couple of questions here. Favorite book you recommend on mindset?
I think everyone should read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich annually. You're not going to understand the whole thing in one reading. I promise you that. And if you read it annually, you will get something new out of it every time.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a great one. And then Renata Steele asks, she's from Vancouver. And by the way, is that Vancouver, Canada? I'm going to be there tomorrow teaching. If you're in Vancouver, Canada, you need to be at our event tomorrow in Vancouver, Canada. Go to clubwealth.com/events, EVENTS, and use that promo code webinar, and you can get your ticket at no cost to that Vancouver event tomorrow. That being said, Renata asks, what do you do when you move into a new town to get clients? What would you recommend, Paul? If you could do just one thing.
Open houses.
Dude, I would agree. Open houses are on fire right now. I mean, seriously, all across the country, I'm seeing people have such great success with open houses. It's not even funny. In fact, Coach Mark Standridge is going to be teaching a class at Listing Agent Bootcamp on how to get 25 to 150 people out to each one of your open houses, and he consistently does it. Look at that. Coach Peter, who you guys just heard from, just mentioned that open houses is the best lead source he has, and that guy's getting stuff from all over the place. And look, dude, just with going full time in real estate and getting rid of his previous job, he made an extra almost $1 million a year. Guys, I'm telling you right now, open houses are on fire. All right. That being said, Coach Paul, thank you. How do we get a hold of you? How do we connect with you, Coach Paul?
I'm probably not as easy to find as Coach Peter Boutros, who's a lot better at the video social media than I am. But you can email me at paul@paulperone.com, and I'm easily searchable on Google.
Paul@paulperone.com
Friend me.
or Google him. All right, there we go. Coach
Friend me on
Paul,
Facebook.
thank you. Thank you. And you will be speaking also at Listing Agent Bootcamp. And so Coach Paul will have a class there, guys. You need to come out and you need to see his class at Listing Agent Bootcamp. If you haven't already signed up, get signed up. Go to clubwealth.com in fact, actually, I tell you what, I'm going to give you a better deal than that. I'm going to normally tickets right now on our website. If you go to clubwealth.com/LABC, it's $997 for a ticket to LABC. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you guys. Right now, between now and the end of the webinar, if you go to clubwealth.com/half off, clubwealth.com/HALFOFF, half off. If you guys, for those of you that do that, I'm going to give you half off that ticket for Listing Agent Bootcamp. You can get it for $497. We are going to shut that link down after the webinar today. So get on there and get your ticket at $497 instead of spending $997. And by the way, those tickets are going to be going up when we get about 45 days out from the event. We're getting close. The event tickets go to $1497. So get your ticket right now, guys. All right, Coach Paul, any last words before we go to our next speaker?
Oh yeah, Chris just said add on the VIP. You got to get VIP.
Yes.
VIP is I can't even express how much value I got the first time I did VIP. I was blown away sitting at lunch and dinner with Coach Sarah Santa Ana and all the other wonderful coaches. I mean, these high level when I was sitting there at tier 1, like, deer in the headlights with all of the information they're throwing at. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. It's worth its weight in gold.
100% agree. The VIP really makes a difference. I'll tell you guys a little bit later, a little bit more about what VIP includes. All right, Paul, thank you. I'm going to have you feel free to stay on. I'm going to go ahead and mute you out. And if you want to go ahead and shut your camera down, guys, let me, before I introduce our next speaker, I want to remind you the next 2 topics that we have today, and we're almost done. We've only got a couple more topics. I want you guys to stay with me. I've got Coach Sharif Hattab is going to be next, and he's going to be talking to us about SEO. And let me tell you something, this guy's got SEO on lock. If you want to know exactly how to crush it with SEO, you need to stick with me here for the next few minutes. And then the very last person I'm going to be bringing on, we got a little surprise guest for you today. And I say little, not because he's small in stature, although he does get taller when he stands on his wallet. I'm talking about a young man who literally, and as far as I know, has literally listed more homes himself than any other residential agent in the United States this year at over 220, sorry, not this year, the last 2 years, at over 220 listings in the last 2 years, and right around 20 listings already this year. Our guest speaker is going to be talking to us about lead generation and exactly what lead sources he's using to get all these crazy freaking listings. So in the meantime, we're going to talk with Coach Sharif about SEO. Before we do, I want to remind you, go to clubwealth.com/events, EVENTS, clubwealth.com/events. Get signed up for the events in either Vancouver tomorrow, Melville, New York on March 19th, Allentown, Pennsylvania, March 20th, South Brunswick, New Jersey, March 21st, Columbus, Ohio, March 22nd. I will be speaking. For those of you that came late, so in case you don't know who I am, my name is Michael Hellickson. At one point in time, I was the #1 agent on planet Earth. I was literally closing 120 to 180 transactions every month. And oh, by the way, I was carrying about 750 listings in active and pending status in any given time. Now I'm a full-time coach. Now I help you guys crush it. And I'm also I invest in real estate a ton. Freaking love it. And I'd love to teach you guys how to do that too. What I'd really like to help you guys do is make more money selling real estate, spend less money, and invest the difference in real estate so that you can build real wealth and eventually get to the point where you don't have to do this crazy rat race anymore, where you can do whatever the heck you want because you've got both the time and the money freedom to do so. All right. That being said, when you go to clubwealth.com/events, make sure you use the promo code webinar, and that's going to give you your half-day event tickets at no cost. That's for those half-day, those 3-hour events. All right. Now, let's go to Coach Sharif Hattab. Sharif, can you turn your camera and your microphone on? Or, you probably need me to make you a co-host so that your camera will work. Hang on. There you go. Coach Sharif, let's get that camera working. There. Oh, my gosh! I can't believe it. Even Coach Sharif is wearing a tie. Man, this is like when Halley's Comet comes to visit, right? Like this is like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. This is like we're landing on Mars here. Crazy. All right. So I just want to tell you that this guy right here, I had to basically browbeat. I had to tag him. It was like an MMA match with Nicole Godet and I browbeating this guy into signing up for Club Wealth. And Sharif, when you signed up for Club Wealth, what tier were you in? Where were you at in your business?
Tier 2.
Tier 2. And that means you were doing 25 to 75 transactions a year. And right now you're in what?
Tier 4.
Tier 4, which means you're doing between 150 and 250 transactions a year. Let me tell you guys, this guy's the freaking real deal. This guy's a baller. So much so that he's my son's coach. I trust this guy with my own son. And let me tell you something, who's also a coach. And let me tell you something, Coach Sharif isn't just the real deal. He is one of the smartest people you're ever going to meet. I'm stoked that you're here today. He's, by the way, going to also, of course, be speaking at Listing Agent Bootcamp. But today he's going to be speaking to us about SEO. Guys, the number one lead source on the planet today is Google LSA. If you're not sure why that is, it's because Google has decided they're taking over the real estate world, and they're laying the foundation to do that right now. Well, let me tell you something. Lead sources ebb and flow all the time. Sometimes Facebook does really well. Sometimes SEO does really well. Sometimes Zillow or Realtor.com, whatever, they ebb and flow all the time. Right now, right this minute, SEO is hot. SEO is on fire. It's good money. It's great value. So the ROI is really high. You guys absolutely must listen to what Sharif has to say. Coach Sharif, I'm going to bow out for a few minutes, let you do the talking. I will be back on at about 10:30. If you need, but I'm here. I'm here. So if you need me, just call out my name and I'll unmute my microphone and help you out. But guys, listen to what Sharif has to say. Coach Sharif, take it away.
All right. Thank you for that, Coach Michael. Appreciate it. Welcome, guys. I'm here to tell you about some SEO optimization. It's one of our best lead sources. And really what it comes down to is just optimizing your presence online. So SEO is just really, it involves your ranking, your visual, what you present yourself online, and just really getting out there and being able to showcase who you are. Now, when it comes down to it, obviously you have your different types of online presence, but I can tell you when people are out there and you might do it yourself, you might tend to attract yourself more to the actual results you get on Google past the ads. So the reality is 94% of people prefer the organic ads over the actual paid ads. So to get yourself to rank on there and to show you the differences, it's actually quality. So there's different ways to rank on Google these days. You can either do it paid and you have your LSA, which is up top, which my coach, Nicole, is amazing at. She optimizes it. And it really is a paid source that Google released just for services. So that is the first thing that you'll probably see at the top of the search results when searching, say, per se, a realtor in a certain area. The next you'll see is the ads, which are the pay-per-click ads, which are simply, people that are picking up keywords and paying for them and getting charged per click. What I want to focus on is basically the rest of it, what falls underneath both the LSA and the pay-per-click. And that would be two things mainly, and that would be your Google Map Place, and also, which was formerly Google My Business, and then also the web results that fall underneath the map places. Now, these are the key ways that, we tend to actually get leads into our system. I can tell you they're very high quality leads. You might not get as many, but we're not going for quantity. We're going for quality with these. And in reality, we transact more with the people that find us organically because they've already done their research. They've read through the reviews and they've read through pretty much everything they need to get there. But how do you improve your SEO? The key things we're going to talk about is, Google Business Profile, which is essential. It's really the keystone to your presence on Google itself, just to display yourself. We'll talk about listing management and NAP, which is name, address, and phone. The user web experience is very important. You know, how people interact with your website when you get there. Updating certain SEO information like meta tags and page titles, and then keyword analyzers and SEO content, and then going into things like backlinks, IDX search pages, and key tools that we use to bring people back to our website, which is agent e-cards that we have, like the digital e-cards, we have them from our website themselves, not a third-party vendor, and then using multiple domain names and microsites. Now, when it comes down to it, you don't have to apply all these at the beginning. It's good to, you know, pick one or two, start getting better with it, and be consistent with it. The first thing I would start with if I didn't have any type of online presence is definitely setting up a Google business page. It's essential. It's where you're going to present your actual address, your web information, your phone number, all the key information. It's where it's going to house the reviews on Google. So what you want to do is set that up, put in all your company information, upload pictures. And as you're uploading pictures, which should be something that you do consistently on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, you definitely want to geotag them so that Google knows where the picture was taken. That's essentially what it comes down from. And then you want to post regularly. Posting on Google gets more interactions. Google is going to rank you higher if you actually interact more with the actual platform. And also putting your products like listings. That is essential. That's something that we had developed a few years back, and we put every listing on Google. Not only does it sell well when we're in a listing presentation, we let our clients know that that's what we do, but it also gets interactions for the listing itself. And one of the key components to getting your listing ranking higher is reviews. You want to organize some type of campaign to your past clients, your sphere, really anyone you interact with, and try to get some type of review. So when people look you up, they have a way to actually relate to you and see what have you done in the past. So having reviews is definitely, I can tell you, having the highest amount of reviews in our area gets us a lot of listings. We're actually putting one on the market today. It's a $1.15 million listing. They found us on Google, and when I went in for the listing appointment, he told me not to sell them because he had already reviewed everything. He read the reviews on our listing, on our Google page, read all the past experience we had, and it was that easy. So that's the type of quality listings. Now, with your online presence, you want to make sure everything is consistent online. You want to make sure that your name, your address, and your website, different things like that are consistent. You can use different tools to do that. Yext is one of the most popular tools. It's basically all you're doing is you're filling out a form and they're pumping out all the information and making sure it's the same along all the main sites where people are searching, right? So not only Google, but Apple Map Places, Facebook, on Instagram, on Yelp, on Yahoo, on just main places, so that's consistent online, so that basically you will rank higher as you get more consistent information. So that is one of the key things. User web experience on your website. Obviously, I mean, if you have a Google page, you want to link it to your website because ultimately that's where you want to bring people. You want to bring them into your ecosystem. So you want to make sure there's different aspects of your website that they're actually optimized better and they're working properly. What you want to do is you want to make sure first and foremost that you have a mobile ready website that adjusts to every platform or any device that anyone's using. Making sure that it's quick and loads fast. You don't want to have cumbersome pictures on there. You don't want to have too many things like errors and things of that nature that will slow down your site. You want to make sure it's easy to navigate. You want to make sure that people can find the information they need and have ways to capture them. And you have useful information. We like to blog on our website. So we like to put useful information locally on there so that people find value in your website. You want to use tools like Google Search Console. to actually find the errors in your site and then remove those errors. And then one of the important things also, so that you can optimize your presence, is to submit basically your site as a text file to Google. And by doing that, it knows what information is there. So those are some, on the right-hand side, you'll see on the slide right here, is some key tools that you can actually use for the website experience. Now, when diving into it, SEO, meta tags, and titles sounds complicated, but it's easy. And you want to make sure that your website has that type of complete information. You can do that by hiring someone maybe on Fiverr or doing it yourself. It's really not that hard, but most websites will have some type of a dashboard. I know the popular IDXs like Ylopo, Sierra, Chime, they all allow you to get in there and adjust your website. We do it on our main website through WordPress. We use Yoast SEO, which is one of the most popular SEO management tools. And technically, when you say meta tags and meta title, it's just the information that the search engines are going to use to basically present you when someone searches for you. So when your title makes sense, which if you look on the right-hand side, the screen capture that where it says, say if someone were to search Sharif Sells or Team Sharif Sells, that's the title. And then you have the description, which is the little blurb that's under the title, which if is SEO and keyword rich, will bring people to your page. So that's why we want to make sure we optimize that so the information's there and it's searchable. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about updating your keyword information and SEO information on your website. Now, you can use different tools to do actually keyword planning, and to look for SEO content. You can use AI now, like ChatGPT and Jasper, to get ideas of what people are also using and what is popular for SEO keywords and try to incorporate that content into your website. And you want to build it into, and don't overuse the keywords. Don't start just putting stuff into your website just to track keywords and try to get people to it. It's got to make sense, right? And then normally you want to try to have someone that's SEO content writer friendly, try to help you with that. If not, take all the information, paste it into an AI just to get an idea of what it should be, and then go ahead and rewrite it yourself. Now, another thing that helps optimize your search engine optimization is backlinks. Theoretically, all this is someone who links back to your page. And that just boosts up your web authority because people are looking to you as now an informational source. So backlinks could be, you can get backlinks different ways. Just getting through partnerships with people online. And you want to make sure it's link worthy, not just, just any random sites. Write testimonials and backlink to yourself. You can start guest blogging in different places, participating in forums and putting your link out there to backlink to yourself. Virtually, if you were to put your link anywhere, you just want to get more people into your back to your page. So you want to do that in a consistent basis and try to build that up, because the more you build that up, the higher you will rank on Google itself. Another easy way to do it is we use listings to leads. And every time we do a personal property page, it'll post our website on it. So that in itself, as we get listings, generates more backlinks for our site. We also like to do community subpages. That's a great way to capture searches for certain areas within your region of where you support and where you sell real estate. We have it broken down to towns and certain counties. To have that with an IDX plugin always helps so that people can see, basic information about a town and then see the homes that are for sale in that town. It also picks up on keywords when people are searching, living in West Windsor or living in Robbinsville, New Jersey. It also provides those keywords on a place in your site. I can tell you blogging is one of the key elements. It's one of the easiest way. You don't want a static website when you're talking about SEO. You want to keep adding to it. You want to always add to the website things that obviously people want to read. Our highest performing page on our site is about the direction of your home. I found that, we're doing real estate, frequently in the area. We got one common question about the direction of your home, so we chose to write a blog about it. We've done a video about it, and now it's our top performing page. It also produces leads right off that page itself that are related to the direction of your home. So blogging is essential. At this point, we're doing 1 to 2 blogs a week on our website, and it's always adding more information, more search keywords, and more topics for people to get onto our webpage. Another key element that we use is I don't like to use the third-party softwares for building out an electronic e-card. We actually have pages for our agents on our site, profile pages, and when looked at a mobile format, that becomes, basically a quick link e-card per se. And when sent out with the right thumbnail, it also can display your business card. And this really just brings people back to your site instead of a third-party site for them to get your information. So that is a good way to do it. It's simple to do it. You just need a profile page on your site and just have quick link contact buttons like call me, text me, or search for homes that goes to your IDX page. And then also things if you want to add like value and mortgage calculators. But ideally, you want to try to bring people back to your site. I send this to leads, and I also send it to other agents in the market instead of sending my business card or my contact information, because ideally you're getting them back to your website and you're getting more hits on your website, which helps you rank higher. And then we also like to register different domains. It's not going to hurt you. You don't have to stay married to one domain. You can have your main one and then buy other domains. If it's something that you like we purchased RobbinsvilleRealtor.com, which is our main market, and it simply goes to a microsite, which is a landing page that'll eventually take them to our main site. So if you like, any type of domain name, don't be afraid to buy it. You can either redirect it at first, which simply is through the registrar, whoever you use to buy the domain name. You can have it just forward right to your main page. That's going to help you, or you build even better a microsite for it, which is a simple landing page. And from there, you actually put a button that goes to your main page, which is going to ultimately be a backlink as well. But that are key ways that we actually get people to our site so we can capitalize on the SEO of the domain name itself. That's it for today. Again, I'm Coach Sharif Fatab out of New Jersey. And now if anyone has any questions, would be the time.
I love it. All right, good stuff. And by the way, we still have one more speaker to come. We're going to be talking about lead generation, specific lead sources here in just a second. But before we do, let's go to, I've got a bunch of questions for you. By the way, a lot of you guys, we got a lot of comments that said, hey, but this is a lot of information. It's a little confusing. And I'm still getting people saying, how do I get the PowerPoint? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. For those of you that want the PowerPoint, here's what we've decided to do. You can send a direct message to me in the chat, right? So if you go down to the chat where it says to everyone or to whoever, choose my name, Michael Hellickson, and I want you to send me your cell phone number. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my team go through and we're going to send you via text message. We're going to send you a link where you can get all the PowerPoints from today. Don't just put it in the chat here, put it in the chat. Oh, you can do that. It doesn't matter if you go directly to me or the host panelist or just to everyone. It doesn't matter. Just put your cell phone number down and I will have everybody, I'll have my team go in and we will send you the PowerPoints via text message from today. We'll send you a link to go get them. So yeah, if Michael's not an option, you can just do hosts and panelists and I'll get it to you. All right. That being said, questions for Sharif. Oh, and by the way, one other thing that I forgot to mention. Well, let's do this. Let's do the questions for Sharif first, and then I'll give you this other piece. And then we're going to go into lead generation with our special guest. All right. So where do you post on Google, Sharif? How does that work? This is from Paula Schwartz.
I mean, when you're in a Google business place, your actual Google management tool for your Google map place, you can actually post right there. There's a posting utility to it. There's also an add picture utility and an add product utility. So you can do it right through the management, right through Google business places.
Good stuff. I love it. All right. And Renata asks, how do you geotag photos? Is that, first of all, is that important? Second of all, how do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's information that goes both ways. People tell you it's important. Google will sometimes make it less important than it is really important, but it's good to have that information. And you can use a tool called GeoImager. I think, Michael, I think there's a Club Wealth link for it. I think it's clubwealth.com/GeoImager. Do
Ben,
you?
if you could find that and get that posted in the chat here, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, but I mean, there's tools out there, even if you just Google, you know, how to geotag, but that tool is one of the easiest ones. And really all it does is you take a picture, you upload it to the tool itself, you put your keywords where the box for the keywords, and then you click the actual box where you put the coordinates or address of where you want to geotag that picture to. So, you know, I would say it's important. I think it's common practice for us to do it on every picture that we upload anywhere, really.
And by the way, guys, first, for those of you that are thinking to yourselves, oh my gosh, this is so much. Sharif is also going to be teaching a class at Listing Agent Bootcamp on exactly how to do this. And that'll be a full 45-minute class. You'll have plenty of time to ask him more questions after that class as well. Plus, you'll get to know him right there at Listing Agent Bootcamp. And I'm telling you, these subtleties that he's talking about, they might sound like, you know, oh my gosh, that's so complex. And is it really worth my time? Blah, blah, blah. The reality is, yeah, it really is, because what happens is you start to get leads organically, and those you start making a lot more money on, because the ROI on those leads are so much more than when you have to pay for leads. And so all of this stuff really helps make your lead generation more profitable for you. Now, does that mean that you don't do the calls? No, of course you're still going to do calls. Does that mean that you don't do other sources? No, of course you're going to do other sources as well. And we're going to talk about some more specific sources here in just a second with our guest speaker, our surprise guest speaker, who's maybe not such a big surprise anymore, but you're going to love it. All right. So that being said, next one I've got is from Tara Bellinger Bright. If we had Google My Business page, do you have to now start a new Google Business profile, or was it simply a name change and all info is still there?
It's simply a name change. They just changed the dashboard that you would go to originally, and they built it right into the Google search. So no, definitely it's the same thing. You just want to get on there and make sure all the information is updated and start interacting with it. You know, Google specifically, everyone thinks it's a search company. It's actually an information company. You want to use their tools and provide that information so it can collect it from you and help rank you higher.
Okay, so first of all, great information. Thank you, Coach Sharif. Cynthia asks, Cynthia Rodalis, who's also one of our coaching clients. Good to see you, Cynthia. Asks, I have a problem with Zillow having an old profile from when I was at Keller Williams, and I can't reach anyone to take it off. Not sure if that will affect me. Zillow are the worst. So, got any suggestions for her there, Sharif?
Contact Zillow. I mean, tell them that you have two different profiles and let them know which one's actually correct for you. That's definitely going to affect you, because let's think about it. I don't know if everybody else does this, but if I'm researching a product or a person, I want to search them online. And if I find different profiles that kind of contradict each other, you might have different thoughts about proceeding with that person.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to contact Zillow. That is your best bet on that.
And Cynthia says, I've tried, but no one answers. Hey, we get it. The struggle is real, Cynthia. We understand. All right. And Paula says she's from Minneapolis. Mike Bernier is my mentor. So Mike is one of our coaches also. And Paula, you need to ask Mike what he thinks about going to Listing Agent Bootcamp. He's going to tell you should go. But definitely ask Mike. He was just texting me this morning, in fact. All right. And so that being said, Coach Sharif, I'm going to have you stick around, because after we get done with our next guest, we're going to give you guys all a chance. We're going to go back through all the rest of the remaining questions, because I've still got some questions for each one of our speakers here. And so we'll go back through those after we're all done momentarily. But Coach Sharif, anything else you want to add before we do that?
No, that's pretty much it. Just, you know, start anything. Don't try to get too overwhelmed. I know it's a lot of information, but pick a couple and do it consistently. And, you know, as time progresses, you can add more tasks, and then soon enough, you're going to start getting organic leads.
And thank you for that. And by the way, Tara Ballinger is mentioned in the chat. And Tara, if you could change that and make that go to all panelists and attendees. Actually, here, I'll just do it for you real quick, just to make that simple. I'm going to go to everyone here. This is the comment she put in there on Zillow. It's better to email them than to call them. And also, Benjamin put the profile links for all of our coaches that have spoken thus far today. Coach Peter, Coach Paul, and Coach Sharif. And you could just click on those, and their contact information is also on their coaches page on the Club Wealth website. All right. So Coach Sharif Hatab, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. If you guys have any referrals to be sent that direction, I'm telling you right now, this guy will close that deal. He will make it happen. You will get paid. You will not have to trace him down for a referral fee. And man, he doesn't, not only does he like to give you referral fees, he likes to send you a milkshake with it. I'm just kidding. That's totally not true. But he will pay you a nice, healthy referral fee. So send your referrals on over to him. And Coach Sharif, I'm going to have you shut your microphone and your camera off for the time being, and we will catch up with you in a few minutes. Thank you very, very much. Show him some love in the chat, you guys. And by the way, if you have not thrown your phone number in the chat yet, please make sure that you guys do that so that we can send you the PowerPoints from everybody's presentations today. And now we're going to get to our next speaker. And this isn't going to be so much a speaker as I'm just going to stand here and I'm going to interview this person. And I say stand here because this person happens to be right here next to me right now. This person is a young person, 21 years old, that literally in the first 2 years in selling real estate, he has listed over 220 homes this year alone. That's not counting this year's numbers. This year alone, he's already up at, I think, 20 listings on the year, 19 or 20 listings on the year. So please welcome, if you will, please, my son, Mr. Austin Hellickson, who's also a Club Wealth coach. And by the way, ladies, he is single and ready to mingle and hates it when I say that, but I can't help it because...
Same with the rest of my team.
Yeah, that's right. His whole team is single. That's actually true. Maybe it's because they work so much. I don't know, but they're freaking ballers. And so if you guys know of any young ladies, he's a really nice guy, and mom and I are taking daughter-in-law applications as we speak. Yeah, and Coach Paul makes a good point. He is hitting the gym, and so that's
sometimes.
Yeah,
not as much as I should, but
here's the thing. I will tell you this. This is what I want you to hear about this kid and what I want you to learn from him right now. You guys need to have more lead sources, okay? Everybody needs more lead sources. I would suggest that if you want to make $250,000 to $500,000 a year, you need to have a minimum of 10 to 15 lead sources. If you want to make 7 figures a year, then you need to have 25 to 35 lead sources. Now I'll tell you this one here, I was a little disappointed in him last year. For year one, he did about $700,000 in gross commission income. Year two, he did $970,000. Like, if this guy had just sold one more house or maybe two, he could have broken the $1 million mark his second year selling real estate. What the freak? How lazy can, I mean, sorry, I love you. I love you, dude. But seriously, all it took was...
It's because of Coach Sharif.
Is it his fault?
It's his fault.
So
blame on Sharif.
Blame Sharif. Hashtag blame Sharif. All right. So and yes, he does speak Spanish. So if you got English speaking, Spanish speaking referrals, he handles, and watch this. I want you guys to pay attention here. He handles the entire state of Washington. I'm saying that because so many of you are so concerned about driving too far to get to a listing and you only want to go a half hour from your home or whatever. I'm telling you right now, guys, this kid will go. I've seen him go as far as 9.5 hours one way, had to go all the way down to another state and back up into Washington to get to a listing appointment. Guys, you've got to be willing to travel further.
And today, the furthest one I've set so far is 4 hours away.
So you set an appointment today for one that's
Grand Coulee Dam.
So it's 4 hours from here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. And guys, and by the way, watch this. Do you even care what price point it is?
It's like 250.
250, right? And what's your average? Is about 600?
No, that's the state average.
We're
probably 350 to 400.
350 to 400 is his average right now. But my point is, it doesn't matter what the sales price or what the list price is going to be. It doesn't matter what that price point is. I've seen you go to 3-4 hours for a mobile home.
Saturday I drove to Tri-Cities from Leavenworth, so 3.5 hours for $100 and something thousand property that was a 5-minute appointment.
That's what it takes, guys. And by the way, you didn't get that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the
That's
guy,
rough. That sucked.
Tell us why. Okay, so watch this. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Why was it rough?
Oh, I just sometimes when I go into the listing appointment, you just know, and the air in the room was not there. And yeah, it was just one of those appointments.
You just knew that they were going to shut you down hard.
Yeah, it was worse than some of the ones that Coach Paul and I went on when he was here.
It smelled bad. That's funny. But here's the thing, guys. I'm telling you all this because I want you to know that, look, if this kid can list 220 homes in 2 years, 97 homes his first year selling real estate. Guys, if he can do it, you can do it. And you just got to be willing to change a few things. So, Austin, I want you to talk specifically about some of the lead sources that you're using right now. What are, let's just start with your top 3 lead sources, or let's just say 3 of your favorite lead sources.
I love Referral Exchange. Reach out to Coach Linda Welsh for that one in particular. I want to make sure she gets credit when you sign up.
Yeah.
So you have to do at least 20 million in volume in the past year and then it's $100 a month with a 25% referral fee. So again, please don't just charge, and you have to be invited to join their program. So if you want to get invited to the program, reach out to Coach Linda Welsh or myself, and I can get you her contact information because that'll help her get more leads. And there you go, Coach Brad, 3 listings from it last week. It's very good. I got a listing lead from it, 3 I think over this weekend. We have 1 on the market with them right now. It's a very good lead source. Thank you, Coach Linda, for that email. Yes, reach out to her in the chat, linda@lindawelshrealty.com. What else? There's List with Clever. It's a Coach Reese and I talked about this one the other day. It's
a double-edged sword.
Yes.
Yeah.
That said, it just got signed a listing this last week from what's it called?
List with Clever.
List with Clever.
Yeah.
And then
what's the downside? So first of all, tell us how List with Clever works. What's, because what's the downside? What's the upside?
It's like an upnest or a ideal agent to where they have a commission that they say that you're offering.
So you're supposed to use their prescribed commission amount.
Correct.
But
with Coach Sharif, he taught me on our coaching call this last week. Yes, listwithclever.com, Paula. Is that you can upcharge from there, but they'll only charge you the referral fee based off of the percentage. Based off the
based on the number that they prescribe ahead of time. Okay. Correct. Now watch this, guys. I'm going to throw this out there because this is very important. You know what? I'm going to shut this freaking thing off. Mom's going to kill me. She hates the background when I turn this off, but watch this, guys. We're going to get rid of this virtual background because it's really messing with me here. All right, there you go. Now you can see us better. My OCD is freaking out. All right. So watch this. Whoa, hang on.
No, but what Coach Sharif's mentioned is you have your marketing menus still. But the prescribed commission amount that List with Clever wants you to charge, you put that as the basic, and then you upcharge from there.
There you go.
And the extra, you don't pay the referral fee based off of.
That's how you do it. And this is important too, because you guys need to stay in compliance with the Sherman Antitrust Act. And so what I don't want you to do is I don't want you just to go in and only charge whatever List with Clever tells you you're supposed to charge, because again, that would be a violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act. So you got to go in there with your commission menu, show them 3 different options, let them choose, show them the value, let them pick, and let them decide how much they're going to pay the selling office, if anything, right? All right. So very important. Well, give us another great lead source.
List with Clever, Referral Exchange. I mean, and of course, there's always the free ones first and foremost, right?
When you say free, you mean referral based?
No, free.
Oh, totally free.
FSBOs, canceled, expired.
Yeah. So hold on. So what percentage of the listings that you have? Like, first of all, how many listings do you think you have on active, or like either active or coming soon right now? But signed listings.
Probably
50. Okay. All right. And how many of those do you think are from sources like FSBOs, expireds?
Honestly, not many. Maybe if we're lucky, 10%.
10%. Okay. All right. So most of the calls you're making now are not to expireds and FSBOs.
They are. I still do it like every single day. I'm still calling them.
Well, I understand that, but aren't you making a lot of calls to follow-ups to your other lead sources?
Correct.
So what percentage of the calls you're making are from your other lead sources versus for
the bulk majority?
So most of it's the other lead sources, and only about 10% of the calls you make are FSBOs and expireds.
Yes.
Got it, which makes sense. And so now watch this. Hold on. I want to give you guys some hope here, because some of you guys are fairly new, right? Some of you guys are just getting started. You're just trying to really ramp up your lead generation on the listing side. Awesome. Your first year, was it like that your first year, or was it more expireds and FSBOs first year and became more of these other lead sources?
A mixture of both. I'd probably say closer to 25%. Okay. But we honestly, jumped off the bat calling everything.
Yeah. Okay.
But a lot of what we do is cash offer lead sources, which is double-edged sword again.
Okay. So let's talk about, one of my favorites, that
trigger listings.
Well, that's actually, okay. So for trigger, let's talk first. Let's baby step them into trigger, because for most people on the call, they probably can't afford trigger listings yet. So what's the baby step to trigger listings?
Leads like candy.
Leads like candy, right? And so and leads like candy, for you, those of you that don't know, we get a discount on that for you guys. It's our discount link into ZBuyer. Ben, if you could put leadslikecandy.com in the chat so that everybody's got, there it is right there. And so a lot of people say, oh, that lead source sucks. And I like to say, no, you freaking suck, right? Watch this. Austin, how do you do with Leads Like Candy?
We do all right. We don't do crazy good, I would say.
Okay.
I think 2022 we did 10 or 11 listings from Leads.
Okay, we did all right. We listed about a house a month out of that particular. Okay, so is that good? I mean, watch this. What does Leads Like Candy cost for most people in a typical market? You have no idea. Okay, so if you guys are using Leads Like Candy, like I know Brad uses them. Brad, if you could just type in what you pay per month for Leads Like Candy, maybe Linda, or any of you the guys that have it. I'm curious what your monthly spend is, but he's listing literally a house a month out of it. And some of you guys are spending, like Brad's at $15 a lead, $15 a sell. Dude, that's cheap.
That's free.
Cheap. Oh, it is free, right? That's incredible. $500 a month for Paul Perone. I mean, guys, that's great ROI. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say is that what's great about that is you can get a lot of leads. And one of the problems that I don't know some of the other coaches have found is that the percentage of listings that I have of the ones that cancel, 99.999% of the listings that cancel are cash offer lead sources.
Yep.
I think we've maybe ever had in the 200 plus we've signed 5 or 10 cancel that were non-cash offer lead sources. And the cash offer lead sources, I mean, you'll sign them, which is great, but then again, motivation changes, et cetera. As it is, unfortunately, will bail ship.
Yep.
So, and so there's a double-edged sword with it. You'll be able to sign a good amount of listings. They'll close fast too. But when they cancel, it's like, oh my gosh, that sucks.
But on balance, they augment your listing portfolio. They give you cash flow. They also bring in clients that oftentimes turn into really good repeat clients, referral sources, and that sort of thing.
Well, I guess a great example is one of our clients. We have a closing tomorrow. It's my seller from GeoPoint Data, which is a cash offer lead source.
So hold on, that's clubwealth.com/GeoPoint. So Ben, if you could put that in the chat, clubwealth.com/GeoPoint. Go ahead.
And the buyer reached out to me actually, myself personally, said, hey, I'm interested in this house, interested in this property. So I handed him off to Parm, who qualified for A leads that day. Parm showed him once, wrote him up. We went under contract. And now we're closing tomorrow. And oh, by the way, she has to buy, since unfortunately it's a divorce situation. And Jesse on our team, who qualified for leads, is going to be helping her purchase a house. So this one lead, which GeoPoint, I believe, is $52 a lead here in Washington, or I at least pay, will turn into 65 in commissions. $
60 or $65,000 in commissions from one lead. And by the way, what do you pay for that lead source every month? Ballpark.
Not too much.
Ballpark.
I don't want to say because you're going to kill me. I cap it at like $1,000 to $1,500.
Why are you capping it?
Because, like I said,
freak, are you kidding me? Why would you cap that thing? Okay, he's not going to cap it going forward. He's going to start spending some more money on it going forward.
Because what you have to do is you have to upload money, and then so like for example, you upload $2,500, and then they'll give you leads until it goes down to 0. Then you upload more money, then they bring you back down. What I forget to do is go in there and add money, so they don't have any money to spend. So,
am I the only one with children that give you a headache? Like seriously, is it just me? I mean, my gosh. Okay, so here's the question I have to ask. What's your ROI on this lead source?
Well, now it's gonna be great.
Oh my God. What was it up to this point? Was it good up to this point?
Honestly, I really don't know. I haven't looked at that number in a little while.
Oh my gosh. Who's your coach? Like, I'm telling you right now, if I find your coach, I'm going to strangle him too.
He was just on here.
It's Sharif. Yeah, Sharif, why don't you jump on here real quick, bro? Freaking, where's Sharif at? Seriously, I can't. What kind of coach are you? Like, I thought you were a good coach, and then all of a sudden I hear that this kid's not even tracking his ROI. Yes. I know you use Stat Tracker, you don't know how to read it.
That's not my fault. That'd be your fault for trying to promote him to find a wife. Now he's preoccupied with girls, and here we are.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Look at that. So Laura makes a good point. Can we set up an auto pay? Can we just?
No.
Oh my gosh,
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So then, can you not have an assistant do this on a regular basis? Dude, Sharif, coach him up, bro. Help me out here.
Sharif, coach me up. What are you doing?
This is weak. All right, listen. For those of you that want 17 of our best lead sources, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it easy for you. I want you guys to I want you to grab your cell phone, and I want you to send a text message with the words Club Wealth to the following number, 727-2 287-5993. Yeah, Coach Paul nailed it.
And what's great about that though, Paul, with this upcoming closing, that I can pay to fix the car.
No, you're not fixing the
I'm
car.
kidding,
Oh
I'm
my
kidding.
gosh. Okay, hold on. So again, text 727-287-5993. Send the words Club Wealth to that number. What it's going to do is it's going to send you, and actually, if you guys do it while we're on the webinar, we'll give you 31 of our best lead sources. Okay, 31. I think almost every one of them, if not all of them, he's using also. And I think most of the coaches you've heard from today are using these same lead sources. Now, by the way, have you guys noticed what I'm doing? And we're going to get back to talking to our coaches and doing some more Q&A for you guys here in just a second. But did you notice that we're always driving you guys back to our website for stuff? So what we do is we create these links. So it does two things. One, it makes it really easy for you to remember and find where to get the right information. And number two, it gets you going to our website, which helps us in a ton of ways too, right? We're just giving you free information, but by giving you all this great stuff for free, it gets more traffic to our website, which helps us in SEO. It allows us to pixel you, right? So now when you go there, we're going to retarget you, which means when you go different places on the web, you're going to see our stuff. You're going to see Club Wealth in front of you more often, which gets more engagement, which gets more people doing business with guys. It's like, this is what you need to do. I want you to do this in your business. Okay. Somebody asked, well, my company provides me with a website. Is that enough? No, that's not. Are you kidding me?
What?
No, you have your own website. No. Okay.
Two.
Okay. Oh, geez, dude. For a second there, I thought I was going to have to attack him again. All right. But you guys get my point, right? Like, it's not enough to just have your company's freaking provided website. You need to have another website. Now, if I'm brand new, I'm in tier 1 right now. I just need to get some money coming in, right? So Austin, watch this. You're brand new in the last 2 years. Now, I'm saying this because, guys, for those of you that have been in the business less than 2 years, you're not getting a ton of sphere of influence business. Let's be real here, okay? Because all the people that know you, they think of you as that high school kid, or they think of you as a nurse or a fireman or whatever you did before you got into real estate. That's how they see you. And so in your first couple of years, you're not getting a lot of sphere of influence business. And so what do you recommend, Austin, for somebody who's either brand new or just needs to get up and running and doesn't have a lot of sphere of influence coming in?
Dial for dollars. I mean,
Okay, well, be very specific. Who am I calling? How often? How many?
Right. FSBO's canceled expireds. I mean, those are cheap, basically free lead sources that you can get. And
then maybe leads like candy, right? Because that's probably the next cheapest one.
Right. We're not even there yet. I would cancel expireds because
Right.
if you're starting, you probably have little to no money. Or talk to your team leader and get your team leader to provide a leads like candy, to provide these other lead sources to you so you can see that success. And I mean, FSBOs are super easy. And you think about it, they had motivation to sell or to sell currently, right? As a FSBO, they're on the market, they're trying to sell, they just don't know what they're doing,
Right.
which is why it's sitting on the market. So go in there and show them the value and that you have and why they need to work with somebody, because they always say that they don't want to pay an agent's commission. But if you help them get an extra $50,000, would they pay an agent's commission? Yeah. They're more worried about what goes into their pocket at the end of the day. They're more worried about the time frame, the easiness, and the things, and rather than the process or method in which they sell. Just get them the end result that they're looking for.
And Austin, by the way, to your point, you mentioned a moment ago, we were talking about all these different lead sources, and we talked a little bit about some referral-based lead sources. So Renata Steele was asking, are there any free lead generation sites that work on a percentage? So in other words, they get paid only if you sell and close a house. And the answer is, Renata, yes, there are, and they're on that list that we're going to send you. Now, Coach Paul and Coach Austin, we're both talking about things you can do for free right now. Here's the 5 big ones, and I know that some of you are in New York, and if you're in New York, they have this big rule against cold calling. You get fined $20,000, blah, 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 blah. Paul, I'm curious, does that include, like if I'm calling for sale by owners, am I in violation there? Or because they have their house for sale, am I okay to call them? Coach Paul?
No, you're not allowed to call for sale by owners.
Not allowed to call for sale by owners. Okay, so then here's the big 5. Well, here's the big 5 for everybody. Like if I'm brand new in the business, here's the 5 easy things I do. I do FSBOs, expireds, cold calls, open houses, and sphere of influence. So guess which of those? And Coach Paul added, because he's in New York and Long Island, so he knows. And it's actually more effective in Long Island. I can do door to door actually pretty effectively because I'm going into a bunch of high-rise apartments and stuff, right? Or high-rise condos and stuff, right? Or I'm going through neighborhoods that are a lot more tightly packed. And so what that does is it means I'm hitting a lot more homes a lot more quickly than I would in general suburbia America, right? And so it can be fairly effective that way. And door to door is nice because you're meeting them face to face. That said,
well, Coach Luigi mentioned about open houses is that
that's what
he was of all the Keller Williams offices on the West Coast, he was their #1 agent, lead source open houses. So if you're brand new in the business and you're not on a team, why not sit at an open house that's a vacant house, or even if honestly, vacant house would probably be best, because then you can just go in there whenever you want. Host it from 7:30 in the morning to the afternoon. Bring a folding chair and a folding table into the house with you, and make calls from inside the house.
Yep. Literally, I would be holding open houses every single day if I'm brand new in this business. That is probably the easiest way to get business right now. I would do everything Mark Standards tells us at his class that he's teaching at Listing Agent Bootcamp. I'd follow the checklist. And I'm telling you right now, guys, it's money. I mean, right now, open houses are performing better than they have in the last decade. I mean, they really are. Go ahead.
We're seeing better success this year than we have in previous years in terms of
Yeah.
agents showing up. What's also great about Washington State now is they require buyer agency agreements within our MLS.
Mhm.
With that, all these agents or all these clients are being like, "Oh, I already have an agent." "Oh, awesome. Have you signed a buyer agency agreement with them?"
Nope.
"Oh, so you don't have an agent, right?"
Yeah. And by the way, worst question you can ask is, do you have an agent? Stop asking that question. What should we be asking? Who's your agent? That's what you need to ask. Because when you ask, do you have an agent? Guess what they're going to say every single time?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I got an agent. No, you don't. You just got them to lie. And lying doesn't feel good. And you don't want your clients to feel bad. You want them to feel good, right? And so it's very important that we not put them in a position to lie. So ask the right questions so that they never do that. All right, Paula asks about dialers. And by the way, let's do this. We're going to open this up. Let's get all of our coaches back on. By the way, for those of you that are interested in sending this kid referrals, look, you want to make more money. This guy makes more money per deal than anybody on the call. I'm telling you right now, his average commission is going to be higher than everybody that you've ever met in this business in terms of percentage. And by the way, his close rate is out of this world as well. And so here's what I'm going to suggest to you. You want to get paid more money on every referral you send to Washington State? Send him this guy. He covers the entire state of Washington. He and his team are going to crush it. They're going to get you paid. Go ahead,
They
Austin.
sent out almost an $8,000 referral check this last week.
Dude,
So-
how cool is that, right? All right, so we got our coaches back on. You're staying here. You're not going anywhere. All right, nice try. He's like, I want to get back on the phones, Dad. I got money to make. All right, watch this. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Dialers and coaches, you can verbally answer as well. Feel free to unmute your microphones whenever you feel like it. But the dialer I like that we use at Club Wealth in-house is sales dialers. If you've heard of Mojo Dialer, that Mojo is just sales dialers resold. It's actually the company that powers Mojo is sales dialers. You go to clubwealth.com / actually, I'm sorry. It used to be called sales dialers. Now it's called Prospect Boss. Right. Sorry, I always screw that up. So go to clubwealth.com / prospect boss. Ben, if you could put that in the chat, clubwealth.com / prospect boss. That's the one I use. Austin, what are you using?
Lofty.
He's using a lot of Chime or Lofty, right? Which we freaking best CRM on the planet by far right now. Nobody's even close. I'd say the next closest good CRM is Sierra. They're pretty good. And then I'd say Follow Up Boss is kind of way down here, but the next one. And then after that is everybody else. What dialers are you guys using? Sharif, Peter, Paul?
Follow Up Boss built-in
Follow
dialer.
Boss built-in dialer. Good.
Same.
Okay, Sharif.
Follow, boss.
Something tells me you guys have been talking to each other. Whatever, you using Lofty. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Anyway, all right, good stuff. All right, so you're using the built-in dialer there. And yeah, Kunji, we love Chime. In
Lofty.
fact, I'm sorry, Lofty. Now I keep calling it Chime. It's its old name. It's now called Lofty. For those of you that haven't already checked it out, you guys need to get involved in Black Hat. Let me tell you what Black Hat is. Black Hat is a technology we built out. It works with any CRM. You can bolt it onto any CRM. But if you don't already have a great CRM, it comes with Lofty included. So you have all of that functionality. And what Black Hat does is it's AI, it's artificial intelligence technology. And what it will do is literally every lead that comes in, it will instantly respond to them. It will get them in conversation, and then you can take over that conversation at any point. It's very effective. It will increase your speed lead. It'll increase your conversion rates. There's more that I'm not even telling you. If it's $154 a month and comes with Lofty, so you can actually save the money that you're paying on your CRM now by combining the two. And by the way, if you're using my daughter, as long as you're not in New York, sorry, Paul, I know that you really want to do this, but she's not in New York yet. But as long as you're not in New York or Massachusetts or South Carolina, right now, Madison can Actually, my daughter can work with you on your loans. If you're working with her on your loans, she'll pay for half of it. So it's only $77 for you. And she'll let you use her ISAs, which is her inside sales agents, and they will actually make outbound calls for you. So that being said, if you guys are interested in that, nope, don't even put it in there. If you guys are interested in that, here's what I want you to do. I want you to type Black Hat into your chat right now. Type in the word Black Hat into your chat right now, and I will have Madison or her husband Sawyer, who's our tech guru over there for Black Hat, we'll have one of them reach out to you. They'll tell you all about it. All right, so let's keep moving forward. I got more questions for the guys here. Speaking of which, how come we have all guys today? We need a girl. And next time we do one of these webinars, we need a woman, at least one, like Nicole or Liz or Virginia. We got so many great, strong women that are really good. How did we not have one of them on here? This is stupid. This is dumb. I can't believe we didn't do that. All right, so let's go to Betty. Is leadsLikeCandy.com only for the USA? And how about GeoPoint? Is that USA only? I don't know about all this. Do you guys know? Is anybody coaching anybody in Canada that could answer that? You guys aren't sure? I want to say Leads Like Candy is Canadian, but I don't think GeoPoint is.
I think they're getting there, but not fully yet.
So you're saying Leads Like Candy is in Canada or not?
He's getting there.
Getting there.
And I think GeoPoint only is in Washington or United States.
GeoPoint's only United States. Okay, cool. All right, so there you go. Sorry about that. And let's go to Renata asks, what percentage of leads that are that already have an agent? What is the percentage of leads that already have an agent? I mean, most leads that come in don't have an agent already when you first get the lead, unless you're talking about a specific lead source, so I'm not sure what that would be.
Maybe 4 or 5% at most. I mean,
hey, do me a favor, grab Ron, tell him to whoever's smoking weed out back, get him. I love it when I'm doing a webinar and I can smell somebody smoking weed next door. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Guys,
tell Ron to put it down.
Dude, it's so gross. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's so gross. I'm starting to get the munchies here.
I want to address that question about how many of the leads already have an agent. Now, realistically, everyone you speak to knows multiple agents and probably has spoken to an agent. So don't let that stop you from making the call. Just get in there, ask better questions, be better, and don't care if they do. Just show that you're going to provide more value and have them choose you anyway.
And catch this, if they say they already have an agent, what's the harm in trying? If they say no anyways, right? Practice your scripts, get better, work on your objection handlers. And if they're going to hang up anyways, just, okay, great. Talk to you later.
All right, you guys are going to, some of the people on this call, there's a snowflake on the call here somewhere that's going to get pissed off when I say this, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. Guys, if they're talking to you and they say they've got an agent, they're not that loyal to their agent, right? So if they were loyal to that agent, they shouldn't be talking to you anyway. Either the agent's done a bad job educating them or they really aren't that loyal to somebody else, in which case, go get them. I say they're fair game at that point. All right. So that said, let's go to Tony says, hi, Tony from Nashville. I'm 90% referral based. What is your percentage breakdown on warm closings versus cold closings? So in other words, you guys, just really quick, rapid fire, what percentage of your business comes from sphere of influence versus all other sources?
I'm about 50-50 right now.
Okay. Sharif, Peter, Austin? Go ahead, Sharif.
Yeah, I would say our sphere leads are about 50% of our business.
Okay. Peter?
Yeah, I would say a little bit less than 50%. And then it's divided into like, let's say 10 different lead sources after that.
Okay, gotcha. Austin?
I think we might have done 3 closing sphere of influence in 2 years.
So again, he's brand new to this, right? So
thanks to Coach Sharif, of course.
Right. But here's the thing, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, there's hope. Like, you don't need to be getting a ton of your business from your sphere right off the bat. We'll increase that number over time. Okay. But that's the key, is it's going to increase over time. All right.
Which is why we're doing client events and all of our other events that we do to market to them.
Well, and you're starting to finally do those things, which is good. And by the way, that's the key, guys. If you want to get more business out of your sphere of influence, you need 4 client events per year. Cannot stress that enough. Okay. Got to have 4 client events per year. All right. We answered Paula Swartz's question about, is my brokerage website good enough? The answer is no. You should get a better website. And now I'm not saying in lieu of, it might be in addition to, okay. But you want both. You want to figure out, what's my hub website? What's the one website I want to drive all my stuff to, and have all the other websites that you got. Like the nice thing is your brokerage website, it's on a different server than your website's going to be on. So when it backlinks, remember Sharif was talking about the backlinks, when it backlinks to your site and you got all these other sites backlinking to that same site that you want to make your hub, guess what? That's the site that starts getting the SEO juice. That needs to be your IDX site. that's your site where you're going to start getting all the traffic. Coach Sharif, anything to add to that?
No, that's perfectly said. You definitely want to pick one site and definitely make that one your site. Ours is sharifsells.com, but we have multiple sites that just go to it, and we advertise that as well as the other ones. But you definitely want to get most of it coming just to one place. So you definitely concentrate it and bring your rankings up.
And while we've got you unmuted, Betty says, is writing a blog really going to improve your SEO?
I mean, I get it all the time when people find us from our blogs, especially if you can go hyper local with your blogs and write about, the businesses in your community, maybe an event that's coming up. I'm still waiting for Austin to write one about the fair at Leavenworth. I mean, it's really what you want to do is and people will find you that way. They happen to be searching that and they find you, and you just want to bring people back to your
This
site
next
anyway.
coaching call, let me tell you.
They can say,
You're gonna
they
get
say that
it.
you can
You
lead a
will-
horse to water, but you can't make them drink. This is why this kid right here, this is why arranged marriages used to be a thing, right? Like this is how this happens. I'm just saying. All right. So that said, coaches Peter and Sharif both, I want to ask you guys because this has been heavy on my mind as I'm starting to grow that Leavenworth Facebook group. By the way, for you're welcome. Anyway, that said, I want to know because I've been starting to go around, I've been talking to these businesses, and I know somewhere in this million comments that we've got here, the questions that we've got here, somebody was asking about, well, how do I keep that to 30 seconds? Do I go around and I do these interviews with these businesses? Do I need to keep it at 30 seconds or can it go a little bit longer? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I'll go. It's good to keep it under 30 seconds. You don't have to have a perfect start and ending. Actually, the best performing videos that are caught in between the actual story, where it's not a perfect, start and a perfect ending. Okay, so don't focus too much on that. If you have a attractive, like your first 3 seconds really are the most important part of the video altogether. So if you can kind of find the perfect 30 seconds in that video and just post it there, and it has a good message at the end of the day, I think it will do really well.
Good stuff. Sharif, anything to add to that?
I mean, I would just go for as much content as you can. And if it goes long, you can chop it up into smaller stuff. I mean, that's really what it comes down to is just do it. Get the content, just do the videos. Don't worry about how long it is or what you're saying. Just get to it and do it as soon as possible. Then start it consistently. Austin.
Right? Dude.
This
I
guy.
mean, hey, Paul, maybe you could work with him on mindset. I don't know, man. I'm not sure if that's the problem or if it's something else.
No,
All right.
don't ask Paul. Paul has the same issue right now. I coach him as well.
Oh!
And Paul, your next coaching call, I see your blame, Sharif. You're gonna get it too. I coach
I
Peter,
love
but Peter's good. I have no problems with Peter right now, but Austin and Paul.
If you guys want to
definitely.
see some real fireworks, come to Listing Agent Boot Camp and be there when these guys see each other for the first time there. That's a while.
I'm bringing boxing.
Oh, this is gonna be great. All right. So Cherie asks, look, so you're saying I can backlink to my broker website or to she's with Real, and so can I backlink to my Real website? I can't speak to Real. I don't know if Real allows that or not, but most brokerages would allow that. And on your profile, everywhere you go across the web, every profile you have, you want that linking back to your main site. That's the key. And what's nice again is they're all on different servers, right? So that's going to help you. Okay. So we've got I'm going to just take a couple more questions. I don't know how much time the guys have here. I want to be respectful of their time as well. But let's back up here. Actually, Jamie.
Something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
I just forgot to add this on my slide too, because it did take me a really long time before my videos are started to take off. So don't get hung up on, hey, my videos are not working or posting is not working. Just do it and believe that it's gonna work and do it enough time. Just because you did it once or twice and it didn't work or you didn't see a lot of engagement, you stop. My first videos were horrible. I sounded very bad and I looked very bad. Like I didn't know what to say. But it started improving over time. So you guys just got to start somewhere, and then it will definitely get better if you stay consistent with it.
I wasn't going to say anything, Peter, but now that you mentioned it, you were kind of like the dude in high school with the headgear, the braces and the headgear and the whole 9 yards trying to get those videos out. And dude, I kept seeing your videos over and over and over again. You're like 1 view, 2 views, no views, no views, 3 views, right? And now all of a sudden it's like everything you do, like it just takes off, man. Like you're just crushing it now. But that's because he's consistent, which, you know, some other people could learn. All right. So that said, before I forget, we're gonna keep going here for a few more minutes. But guys, don't forget, get signed up for that local half-day event in your area, wherever you happen to be. And if you're not sure if we have a half-day event coming up in your area, go to clubwealth.com/events and then use the promo code webinar so you can get that ticket at no cost. And then for those of you that want to come to Listing Agent Bootcamp, don't forget to go to clubwealth.com/half off. Clubwealth.com/half off. And that'll get you the half price ticket. And Chafin, yes, we do have an Arlington, Texas event coming up. I got Arlington, I think San Antonio and Austin are coming up, or maybe it's Houston and Austin. But we've got several events coming up in Texas here in the next 60 days. Would love to see you at one of those. And so that being said, let's keep moving forward. Hold on. What was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh, by the way, some of you guys are kind of thinking to yourselves, gosh, you know what? I'd love to go to Listing Agent Bootcamp. I just can't afford to do it right now. Maybe money's a little tighter than it needs to be. So let me ask you this. If I could take away the financial concern, if I could literally make it, if I could find a place to save you some way more money than it would cost you to go to the event and buy the airfare and the hotel and all that stuff, if I could save you that money and make it so that literally you could go and it essentially wouldn't cost you anything, would you go? And my hunch is you'd all say yes, right? I mean, all these 4 guys are going, right? I'm going. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to do. How many of you have insurance right now? Health insurance. Watch this. We found a way where we can save. Our family saved over $1,200 a month by switching our health insurance. And we got better coverage to boot and a lower deductible to boot. Like it just ended up being amazing. And so here's what I'm going to suggest. If you'd like to know how to do what we did, then I want you to comment insurance in the chat and I will have someone reach out to you about the insurance. Dude, let me just tell you this, guys. Not only did we save a boatload of money, I can tell you that it's also kind of like some of these brokerages like the EXPs and the Reels and the LPTs and the, Epic, and there's all these other brokerages out there right now where you can make money by referring people to them. Guess what? In the first 45 days after we signed up for this, I signed up 210 more people underneath me. So now not only am I not paying for insurance, I'm literally making way more money than it would ever cost me. And I'm just getting checks every month. I just get checks every month. And it's super easy. And by the way, if all you did was this, if you just made the one change, whether you signed up anybody up under you or not, if all you did was just change your insurance, you're going to save so much freaking money. You could pay for every one of our big events every year. Literally, like, think about this. Guys, I'm trying to provide you the vehicle with which you can afford to do this and have no excuse not to go. Because here's what's going to happen then. We're going to get you out to this event. You're going to meet Paul. You're going to meet Peter. You're going to meet Sharif. Heck, you might even meet this kid. He'll still be single, by the way. But you're going to meet these guys at the event. And guess what? They're going to help you make a ton more money in your business, which then you can take that and the money you've saved and you can start investing in some real estate and build passive income so you can finally retire. All right. That being said, coaches, I'm going to give everybody one last shot to say whatever you want to say. So each of our coaches, we're going to go through each one. Paul, you get 30 seconds to give us your best tip before we wrap up. We're going to go Paul, then Peter, then Sharif, then Austin. So Paul, you're first.
Believe in yourself, improve yourself every day, and just be the role model for everyone around you. Honestly, it starts here. It starts with yourself, your heart, your mind, who you are as a person. Work on that first. Everything else will flow from there.
Sounds a lot like lead by example, right? Like, I love that. I'm huge on that. Good for you, Paul. I love that. Thank you for that. Peter, you got to unmute. There you go.
Yeah, I want to say it's very important to track, measure, and stay consistent with everything that you do, real estate related, if it's dieting, if you're trying to build muscle, whatever it is, that's the key to anything, especially in real estate. If you're tracking what you're doing as far as cold calls, appointments, videos, how much is it doing, how many people is it reaching, what can you improve just a little bit, then this is how you can increase whatever that you're trying to do and get a better outcome overall. So make sure that you're tracking and measuring, and on top of that, staying consistent.
And by the way, in terms of tracking and measuring, Stat Tracker, baby, Clubwell Stat Tracker. It's included with your coaching. And we got a bunch of coaching clients on right now too. I got to tell you guys, you're crazy if you're not using Stat Tracker. I was having a conversation with Jason Lash recently. Jason said that, and I fought him for 2 years. I fought him to get him to use Stat Tracker. He just pushed back. Finally, he's like, dude, I'm paying you all this money for coaching. I guess I better start using the tools you're giving me. He finally implements Stat Tracker, and literally in the first 60 days, he made it a requirement for everybody on his team. In the first 60 days of using Stat Tracker, they doubled the number of appointments they were setting per month. Literally immediately began doubling the number of appointments set every month. Guys, you got to use Stat Tracker. Peter, great information. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Yeah, Sharif. Sorry, just throwing it out there. All right, you're next, Sharif. Go ahead.
I would tell you guys basically focus on building relationships. That's real estate. Stop focusing so much on the transactions, about the listings, about buyers. Just build relationships. Just talk to people. Remember, brought business, you want to build relationships on trust and just develop that. If you do that, the transactions in the business will come.
Love it. So agree with you. Love it. All right, Austin.
Have as many face-to-face interactions as possible and make sure everybody's in your CRM. That there's many ways to go about getting those face-to-face interactions, whether it's talking to FSBOs and setting appointments or doing open houses or your sphere of influence. Get everybody in your database, keep them in your CRM, and then that way you can utilize your database to a higher level and ultimately get those people to transact by following up with them, etc. But you have to stay and get organized first.
Love it. Great stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to give you 2 more options here real quick. First and foremost, before I forget, if you have not already done so, if you would like information about coaching with us, if you'd like to learn what it's like to have one of these guys as your coach or any one of our 65 plus coaches, all of whom sell more real estate than the people they coach, right? So if you're in tier 1, your coach is in tier 2. If you're in tier 2, your coach is in tier 3 and so forth. If you'd like more information about coaching with us, type in coaching in the chat and put your cell phone number along with it. And I'll have one of our team members reach out to you and they'll just do a quick call with you and tell you what it's like coaching with us. So just type coaching into the chat with your cell phone number now. And I will have someone reach out and we'll walk you through what that looks like. For our group coaching, by the way, it's normally $97 a month. But if you sign up for group coaching within 30 minutes of the end of this webinar, which we're about to end right now. So within 30 minutes of the end of this webinar, if you sign up for our group coaching, you can go to clubwealth.com / actually, tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go back to clubwealth.com. On clubwealth.com, bottom right-hand corner, there's a chat bot link. You're going to open up that chat. That's going to put you into into a Zoom call with my entire team. And they will get you signed up for that group coaching. We'll let you have it for $77 a month. By the way, those of you that sign up for Black Hat, we include the group coaching with Black Hat. I'm not even kidding you. Like, guys, it's a no-brainer. All right, that being said, get that done right away. And what else am I forgetting?
So it's 11:20 right now. So why don't you just open it up till noon?
So that's what we'll do. We'll give them till noon. All right, fine. You gave him an extra 10 minutes there. All right.
You're welcome. Extra
Whatever.
10 minutes, guys.
These kids always ask for, you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. I'm just telling you. All right. So that being said, guys, I want you also to do me a favor. Type in, what is the number one thing that you learned today that you're going to implement no matter what? Type it into your chat right now. The number one thing that you got out of today that you will implement no matter what. Why am I asking to type it in? Because doing so will help you remember at a deeper level. It'll also remind some other people on the call what they brought to the value, or what value they brought to the call, and the things that they think other attendees may think, wow, I need to implement that as well. So type in your number one takeaway in the chat right now, guys. All right, Austin, have I forgotten anything? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, coaches. All right, guys, listen, I'm excited. Cannot wait to see you guys all at Listing Agent Bootcamp. My biggest takeaway, the one thing that I'm going to tell you, at the very, very least, no matter what you do, guys, you need to take something from this and you need to go implement it right now. That's how you're going to get the value out of it. Because I got news for you. Knowledge without implementation is like rowing with one oar in the water. Guys, you just go around in circles and that's no fun. So get that one thing implemented and go out there and have your best week in a long, long time. Make it happen this week, guys. We can do it. Have an awesome day, everybody. We'll see you at Listing Agent Bootcamp. Thank you, coaches. Don't forget, guys, if you have referrals in these areas, send them to these guys. And if you know of a girl, we could use some help marrying this kid off. I'm just telling you. All right, guys. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much, coaches. We'll see you at Listing Agent Bootcamp, guys. Take care. I'm staying on just because I see there's still people here. And so if anybody's got a question for me real quick while we're wrapping up, feel free to ask that question right now. And I'll just stay on as you guys are starting to log off. Coach Paul, you're a stud, dude. I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you. Have I told you that lately? I mean, I can't believe you lived through that harrowing experience with Austin. You're muted, bro.
Yeah, you haven't told me lately, but I certainly wouldn't get tired of hearing it. So thank you, Michael.
I love you, man. I mean that. I seriously do. Can I just tell you, next time that kid feels a vibration in the wheel, tell him to pull the freak over in the world.
Dude, I told him from the moment we took off. From the
Dude.
moment we started driving, I was like, that ain't right.
And he kept driving.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we'll figure it out. It'll be all right. Dude, you're lucky.
You have no idea how many times I was literally waiting for the wheel to come off.
Are you serious?
The second the wheel flew off the car, and I said, and there it is. I didn't react. I didn't jump. Literally the second it flew up, and there it is, because
Why
I knew
am I
it was gonna
not
happen.
surprised? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Sasha, he's using the Chime dialer that's built in, or Lofty, sorry, it's built into Chime or Lofty. Is it Carol? How is it Caroline? Hold on, I'm looking at who just typed that in. Caroline Mackin. Yeah. So they will reach out to you. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna pull the notes from the call here in just a second. In fact, Caroline, if you're excited and you want to get signed up right now, just go to the clubwealth.com and click on that chat button, lower right hand corner, and we'll have you on a call with Sawyer right away. And so just feel free to do that. I know he's making his outbound calls right now for the next 40 or 37 minutes. And so for that next 37 minutes, you won't be able to reach him. But we'll make sure after 12 o'clock, it's Pacific, they'll reach out, they'll go through and they'll figure out exactly who they need to call and get appointments set with you guys. So thank you for that, Ben. Dude, it still smells like weed. What the freak, man? Who's Ben? Get somebody out there to get rid of the weed smoker, man. If that's next door, we need to reach out to the construction company next door and tell them, look, we're sick of smelling your weed. Don't you hate that, Paul? It's like if I wanted to smoke weed, I'd smoke weed. I don't smoke weed for a reason. It makes you dumb. Sorry, if you guys smoke weed, I'm just saying, like, I don't do drugs. I don't want to do drugs. I certainly don't want your secondhand drugs. It's just you. We don't smell it here, dude. I'm telling you, man, I'm smelling it in here. Maybe it's right behind.
Some of them might be a little desensitized to it.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, maybe you guys are just used to it over there. Dude, it's bad, Paul. I'm serious. I feel like I'm at a Grateful Dead concert or something. Dude, it's like way bad. All right, I see there's still 48 people on. I don't know if you guys are just waiting for us to say something intelligent or what, because I don't think there's much more intelligence coming out of either one of us right now. But
how about if you're dialing through your CRM, make sure it records as well.
Yes, listening to those calls is so important.
Huge. That'll be one of the biggest things to help you with your conversion percentage going forward, or your conversion ratio. Listening to your calls, critiquing yourself, having someone else critique you.
Yeah.
The little tweaks can have a major impact on your conversion ratios.
I'll tell you what, man, the first time I listened to my team's calls, I about vomited. I was so nauseous. It was bad. It was terrible. And it's funny because when you first start listening to your own calls, you're going to be embarrassed yourself, right? I mean, that's the way it is, guys. We all suck at it at first. And by the way, Carlin Lowry says she's nervous about going to Hell Week now with Austin's driving habits. I just have a few words for you, Carlin. Be afraid. Be very afraid. That's all I gotta say. All right.
If your life insurance policy isn't up to date, get that going.
Now's the time. All right, that's a good excuse for getting into that health insurance too, right? Because you just never know. You're gonna have to go in for a broken bone. All right, Sasha says, I have a question regarding refi and commercial loans. Does your daughter and help with those, and can she do California? Yes to both. She does commercial loans. She does California. She does debt service coverage ratio loans. She does full-on commercial building loans. She does everything in between, all the vanilla easy stuff everybody does, the mom and pop buying a house. That stuff's easy. She does all that. But the harder stuff is where she really shines, right? The investor loans and the commercial stuff. And Sasha, that is a good question. How do I contact Madison? Well, you'd think I would know that. I just have her programmed in my phone. Hold on a second. Hang on one second. Hang on. Somebody grab Madison for me.
All right, I gotta get to my calls. Have a good
All
day,
right.
everyone.
Sounds good, brother. We'll see you later. Oh, look at that. Austin just put her cell phone number. Thank you, Austin. What a good brother, man. And by the way, his team uses her for all their loans too. And he just put her number in there. And so come on over here. So we've got some people that want to use you for their loans. There's someone on Sasha Trung wants to have you help her. And Sasha, why don't you put your cell phone number in the chat here? And what I'll do is I'll have Madison reach out to you there as well. But she's got a commercial loan in California she needs some help with. So Madison will get you taken care of. She's the intelligent part of our family. The rest of us, we just pound the phones really hard. This one actually has a brain and knows what she's doing, and we just do whatever she tells us to do. So yeah, there you go. And Madison
This is
here.
my cell phone number, but my office number, so you can contact my whole team, is 253-352-4622.
I'm writing down Sasha's number 893. What's okay, there we go. 9617. Sasha. Okay, go give her a call. There you go. Or him. I don't know if that's Sasha guy or Sasha. I don't know which Sasha that is. Sasha Trung. There you go. It's Sasha. Go give Sasha a call right now. All right, there you go. She's calling you right now, Sasha. Your phone's about to ring. All right. Anybody else have any questions for me before we have? My pleasure. Absolutely. And thank you for using Madison. Really appreciate that. Obviously I like seeing my kids do well, and she does all of my loans, and my stuff's complicated. I mean, dude, you can't imagine my tax returns and all that, like everything about my world is like, I got so many properties and so much going on with different loans and all the tax return stuff and all this. And she gets it. She understands all that. And I'll tell you what, man, most lenders, they look at my file and they get a headache and they run the other way. They can't do it. But she gets that stuff at a deep level. And that's really hard to find. We got really, 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 really lucky having a daughter that really gets this stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's a definite advantage for our family. So by the way, those of you that are interested, I know we've only got a few people left on here. I should have mentioned this before. If you're interested in investing in real estate and you're maybe in your area, her number is 206-940-0584. And again, I'll give you that one more time, 206-940-0584. Let me just copy this and paste it down here. Now there's a better number to call her at. There you go. Ben just put it in there. I don't remember what that better number is, but there's the one that goes to all of her team members at the same time. So like when you are teeing up clients, like let's say you want to refer a client to her, you want them to call the number she'll give you, because it'll ring all of her team's phones at the same time. So no matter what, you're going to get somebody on the phone with your client immediately. That's really, really important, guys. Anyway, that being said, those of you that want to invest in real estate, let me just tell you about this, since I got 40 of you on here still. You might find this interesting. We make a boatload of money investing in real estate. That's where I make most of my money. And when I say most, I mean, we make it in a very big way and very conservatively. We're very careful about how we invest in real estate. Everything I buy on the 1% rule. So if I buy it for $500,000, it rents out for $5,000 a month. I have long-term institutional tenants in all my houses. Essentially what that means is that my tenants are picked out before we even close on the house. Once we close on the house, we do everything. We have these people in there for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, and even decades. And so what I would recommend is, if you're in an area where you can't get great numbers on rentals, like West Coast, East Coast, it's hard to make the rental properties work very well. It's hard to make them cash flow. But I buy mostly in the Midwest, and I've got great contacts, all the agents I got across the Midwest there that help identify deals for me. And so if you want to just partner with me, maybe you just say, hey, Michael, I got some money. I'd like to put up the money, and you go do all the work and we'll split the profits. Perfect. That's what I do. So, and if you're thinking, no, why would I give up half my profit? Well, great. Go do it yourself. I'd rather have you do it yourself anyway. That's awesome. But if what you want is, you want me to find the properties, you want me to rehab the properties, you want me to do all the negotiations on them, you want me to find the tenants, you want me to manage the tenants, you want me to do everything soup to nuts, you want me taking that midnight phone call, I say me, my team and I, taking that midnight phone call for the clogged toilet and that sort of thing. Great. We'll do all the work, 100% of the work. All you do is put up the down payment. We do everything else. We split the profits. And I'll tell you, my partners and I make a ton of money doing this. I mean, a lot of money. So love to do that with you. If you're interested in doing that, put invest in the chat, or I'm sorry, not invest, put partner. Put partner in the chat. Type the word partner in the chat. And I'll have Tara, my wife, will reach out to you, and she'll tell you when we have our next partner call. and we'll make it happen. We'll get you on that partner call, which is where all our existing partners and some of our newer ones that want to partner with us jump on that call, and we teach you how the process works, and we'll see if there's a good fit there. We're pretty picky about the partners we take on, and the reason for that is because there's only so many deals to go around. Like this week, we've got 3 deals that we're putting together this week. One of them's already signed around yesterday, and we've got probably 2 more that'll get signed around this week. But that's it, and I'll probably take down 2 of those myself, and we'll partner on one of them. And so, anyway, if you're interested in partnering with us on rentals, go ahead and put that information in there. Anybody else have any questions or anything for me? Anyone at all? I still see we got a bunch of people still on here. I'm just sticking around just because I want to make sure I answer your questions and bring as much value to you as I can while I'm here. So, all right. Well, that being said, guys, I'm not seeing any other questions. So I'm going to wish you guys all a wonderful day, and we'll hopefully see you all at Listing Agent Bootcamp. Take care, everybody, and we'll get you the information as promised. So be watching your text messages and your emails and phone calls. We'll be reaching out to you guys about the things you mentioned in the chat here today. Have an awesome day, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.